Hello everyone, and welcome to Fictional Vortex. So we are back with an interesting series on what if Naruto was Dragon God Slayer and White Mage of Fairy Tale. But before we start, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoy my content. Let's start the story. Even at the tender age of 7 years old when life is just beginning, Naruto Namikaze was forced to mature faster than anyone else his age. The reason why? 7 years ago on the night of his and his twin sister, Hitomi, birth, a man wearing an orange and black mask attacked. After their mother Kushina Namikaze had given birth to them, the man had kidnapped her and using some sort of ninjutsu he forcefully extracted the Kyuubi no Yoko from her. Then using the power of the Sharingan that he held he controlled the beast and used it to attack his home, Konohagakure no Sato. That night the fox caused nothing but death and destruction. However, his father, the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze, used a powerful sealing jutsu. He used the power to separate the Kyuubi's yang chakra from it and sealed it into his newborn daughter, Hitomi. As for the yin chakra, he sealed it back into Kushina, who would have died due to the forceful removal of the Kyuubi. In the end, Kushina survived. Once all that was over, Minato told the village that someone powerful summoned the Kyuubi to destroy the village. But he had defeated the beast and sealed it into his daughter who would use the power to protect the village. The people who loved Minato trusted his judgment and accepted Hitomi as the savior of their village and treated her like a hero. Naruto was soon forgotten on their birthdays even though they shared the same one. On Christmas was the same thing. During the family parties, family dinners, family vacations, not once did they remember him. He was left at home alone. Sometimes when his parents were so attentive of Hitomi they would forget about his food. And when they did notice him, they would only nod their heads as if he wasn't of any importance. On their 4th birthday, Naruto was forgotten again. That was 3 years ago. Today he would go and ask his parents if he could train with them and Hitomi like they had been doing for months. They told him to stop being a pest. Apparently he would only hold Hitomi back. In the village things were no different, since the villagers would ask if the Hokage had a son. They would only laugh and tell him to go away, saying to stop lying. On October 10th, the day of his 6th birthday, Naruto walked out of his room and went out to see that his parents were getting the gear ready for Hitomi's training. He went to ask if he could train with them today, but when he got close he heard them only talking about Hitomi and how happy she would be. They mentioned anything about him. The days seemed to go the same way, they went by every day the same way as they always did. Right now a 7-year-old Naruto watched his parents teach his younger sister Hitomi their fighting styles with a scroll of jutsu on the side for later. He was hoping that today would be the day that they would finally be that day that they would finally train him. He hoped for that every day as long as he could remember that while he ever wanted their acknowledgement, their approval, their acceptance. Every time Naruto went up and asked his parents they would just tell him to leave them alone and continue to focus on Hitomi's training, since they believed that she needed it more since she had the Kyuubi sealed into her 6 years ago on the day of her birth. Even his own godparents, Jiraiya and Tsunade, in their eyes he wasn't worth their time. After being rejected the last time, Naruto took it upon himself to get stronger, so he began reading book on chakra control and learn all he could. He thought that if he learned some things on his own his parents would train him just like his sister. As Naruto left his family's compound he headed straight to one of the training fields that were open for any shinobi or shinobi in training to use. Arriving at the field he opened up the scroll that he had taken from his father's library. It was on intermediate chakra control. Reading the first line he saw that it was on tree walking. Tree climbing. In this exercise, the user gathers chakra at the bottom of their feet. Second, the shinobi must begin walking up a tree as if it were the ground. However, if the user gathers too much chakra, the tree will break and send you flying in the opposite direction. Gather too little chakra and you will not stick and will fall. The user must gather the correct amount of chakra to stick to the tree trunk. However, this is just the beginning and the easiest part, and the user must then be able to sustain the ability to remain on the tree for minutes to up to hours. As soon as he finished reading the instructions he placed the scroll down and walked over to the tree and began to gather chakra at the bottom of his feet. When he thought that he had enough he placed his right foot on the tree and then the left. So far he was able to stick, meaning he gathered the right amount, but, just as he started he finished when he took the next step. Naruto felt his chakra slip and he fell back to the ground. Fuck, I thought I had it. I guess that this isn't as easy as I thought it would be, Naruto said. Well, no pain no gain. He continues to run up towards the tree and hoping that this will get his parents' attention. He fails to notice that a figure was watching him in the shadow. 10 minutes later Naruto entered his father's compound and went straight to the backyard hoping that his father was still teaching Hitomi. To his luck he was still there along with his mother Kushina and his sister. All three were currently eating ramen that was probably from that shack Ichiraku's. Seriously, what did they see in that crap? It had crap loads of sodium and couldn't too good for one's health. Naruto was not here to think about the bad things that ramen had. He was here to show them his new trick. Dad, Mom, Naruto called out as he approached them. The two of them turned to see their son walking toward them. Inwardly they rolled their eyes knowing what he would want. What is it? Asked Minato as he put his bowl of ramen down. I was wondering if I could show you guys something? Asked Naruto. Show us something? Fine, go ahead and show us, the older blonde said. Naruto hearing this smiled and ran over to the closest tree, and without using hand signs anymore he ran up the tree using only his chakra. Hanging for a few seconds he jumped back down. He had a smile on his face as he looked up at his parents and sister. He noticed many different emotions, but mostly anger. His sister had dropped her bowl of ramen and her face was as red as her hair. She couldn't believe what she had seen. Her no-good brother had learned something she hadn't yet. But, no, that wasn't what infuriated her the most. He hadn't even told her. Kushina gritted her teeth at the display her son had done and was about to move to berate him. Minato, however, moved her faster. So what do you think? The small blonde asked. The answer came in the form of a thunderous slap across his face that sent him flying into the tree he had run up. You stupid little bastard, what the hell are you thinking pulling such a stunt? Minato yelled at his only son, who taught the tree climbing technique. It took ASS scroll F from YRS study, Naruto stuttered. You worthless piece of scum, how dare you take something without permission? This time it was Kushina who said this. We give you everything that you need, a roof to sleep under, the clothes on your back, and we feed you, and this is how you repay us. We fucking told you that you would start your training when the academy begins, but no, you go and steal from us just to try and get us to train you. We're training your sister so she can harness the power of the Kyuubi so it won't be a threat to her when she's older, but you on the other hand don't need the training. Now go to your fucking room and stay there. Tears had begun to fall from his eyes. He had never been screamed at like that. His parents hated him, there was nothing more to it. And his eyes then fell on his sister who was coming in his direction. Naruto, you idiot! She yelled at him and ended it with a slap that made his face hit the dirt. You heard your mother. Get up and go to your room, and you're not getting any dinner, Minato said harshly. Go. Naruto scrambled to get up and run, but not before screaming at his family. I hate you all. With that, Naruto ran into the house and headed straight for his room. His family stood stunned at the last thing they were told. They felt a slight pang of pain in their chest for some reason. Later that night, after dinner had ended, Minato and Kushina were in their bedroom thinking about what had transpired today. You know, I think that we went a little too far with the way we treated Naruto, Kushina said as she put on her nightgown. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have hit him, but I just felt so irked that he went behind our back and learned how to access his chakra without telling us, Minato said as he laid on the bed. He could have gotten hurt, yet I think we hurt him more. Yeah, I think it's our fault too. I mean, he's been asking us to train him along with Hitomi, yet we ignored him, Kushina said, joining her husband on the bed. Maybe we should help him a little. I mean, let's at least teach him the basic and some low-level ninjutsu and some taijutsu. I guess we should. I'll have a shadow clone start teaching him tomorrow, Minato said as he turned to look at the red-hair woman. Hopefully he will forgive us. No, I'm sure he'll forgive us if I teach him my Rasengan. Yes, I'm sure he will, honey. Now let's go to sleep, his wife said as she closed her eyes. With Hitomi, Hitomi was sitting in her reading a book that her godfather had given her a year ago. But, for some reason, she just couldn't concentrate on it. Her mind kept going back to her brother. Why would he go and learn something and not tell her? I mean, they're siblings, they should not have secrets between each other. That was it. She would go and apologize for her behavior and maybe show him a thing or two that her parents were teaching her. She stood up from her bed and walked over to her brother's room. She stopped outside the door and a thought ran through her head. She had never been in Naruto's room before. So she knocked on the door to finally see how her brother's room was decorated. When no answer came, she wondered if he was asleep or maybe he was just mad. Yeah, that was it, he was mad. But she was not about to give up, so she grabbed the doorknob and to her surprise it was unlocked. Turning the knob, she pushed the door, opening the room, and walked in. Her small violet eyes widened at the sight. The room was empty, empty of life. The walls were white with no posters or pictures like the ones she has in her room. The bed was well made. In fact, the only thing she could see in the room was the bed, a dresser, a desk, and the closet in the corner of the room. Also, her brother was nowhere to be found. She was about to call her parents when she saw a white envelope on the desk. Maybe that would say where her brother went. She made her way to the desk and grabbed the letter, opening it. She pulled out the folded piece of paper. When she began to read, the only thing she could say was nothing. Instead, she let out a loud scream. With Minato and Kushina, when Kushina closed her eyes hoping to get a good night's sleep, she was forced awake when she felt the alarm seals in the compound go off. Both she and Minato bolted out of their bed and ran to see what it was. The seals went off in Naruto's room. Before they could do anything, an ear-splitting scream came from inside the house. Running back inside, Kushina went to find her daughter, whom she was sure had been the one who screamed, closely behind her. When they arrived, they saw Hitomi's room empty, but heard sobbing coming from another room. Closing in, they saw the door to Naruto's room opened with the light on. Kushina went inside and was stunned at how bare it was in there. There were only the white walls, the floor was clean, but it was devoid of life, something that shouldn't be foreseen in a 5-year-old room. She saw Hitomi on the floor crying while gripping what seemed to be a note. Instantly she felt a horrible sense of dread. Slowly she approached her daughter and kneeled next to her, bringing her into her embrace. "Hitomi, what happened?" she asked softly. "Oni-chan, I came to say sorry, but he's not here, he's gone," Hitomi told her mother as she cried even harder. At this moment, Minato and the others arrived and were speechless at the sight of the lifeless room. "Kushina," he spoke. Kushina didn't answer him. Instead, she took the paper that Hitomi was clutching and began to read it out loud. "Today I finally understood how you all feel about me. I'm nothing but a burden to all of you, so I took the decision to leave. Now you can be the family you wanted to be, without someone to burden you. And be nothing but an annoyance in your life. Goodbye, Minato Namikaze. And Kushina Namikaze, hope you enjoy the rest of your life with your favorite daughter." Naruto. The note was short, but it still explained how he felt. Now the Hokage and his family had lost their only son because of their discrimination. Earlier that night with Naruto sat on his bed, tears streaming down his face. He still couldn't believe what his father had done to him. Sure, he went and took a scroll to learn from, however, that was no reason to hit him that hard. All this came to hit with a simple answer. All his parents cared for was Hitomi. Yeah, that was right, they hated him because of that Kyuubi brat Hitomi. This wasn't his family, no, these people hated him. Standing up from his bed, he took the decision to leave this godforsaken place. He would travel around the world and he would become the most powerful shinobi to ever live. Going to this small closet, he opened the door and pulled out a small backpack which he tossed onto the bed. The next thing he did was pull out a small scroll from under his bed. Naruto opened the scroll and began to draw some characters onto it, creating a sealing scroll. Smiling with his work, the small blonde began to take out the few clothes that he owned, which weren't much since his parent quit buying him things at the age of 4. Since then he began doing chores for the one person who cared for him. It was thanks to her that he managed to get some clothes that would fit him. He grabbed the other scrolls and a few books that he stole from the library compound. Now that he thought about it, he might as well leave her a letter explaining what happened and why he was leaving. As he placed the last item of clothing on top of the scroll, he made a single hand sign and with a fuin he sealed everything into the scroll. He really had to thank Itachi one day for teaching him basic sealing. Making sure that there was no one out of their room, he walked over to his room's window and placed seals on the alarm seals that would slow down the activation, letting them know that he left. He opened it. Taking one last glance at the room, tears swelled up in his eyes again. Then he jumped down and began running toward the gate. He knew that the security seals around the house would soon turn on and he had to get away before that happens. The blonde made it to the streets of the village without setting off any alarms. Tears were streaming down his face by now, but there was no turning back now. Going left, he ran down the streets. He needed to find a way out of the village soon. If he was found out, he would be grounded, even worse. Turning a corner without looking ahead was a mistake, as he ended up crashing into someone. Looking up, he saw a person that he had never seen. "Sorry," Naruto apologized. "It's no problem," the figure said. The figure was wearing a hood and a mask that blocks his entire face. The only visible part was eyes, and they were emerald green. Judging from the backpack you're carrying, it's either you're going to a trip or going to run away, and I'm betting on the second option. The figure said. Naruto instantly became alert and was worried he would take him back to the Hokage's house until he heard. Don't worry, I'm not going to turn you over. But I would like to offer you a deal. The figure said, and Naruto was interested at this. When I was wandering around the village, I saw you training at one of training grounds, and I have to say I'm impressed in seeing your determination in finishing the exercise. The figure praised him, and Naruto just blushed at him and thanked him. Anyway, here's my offer. Do you want to get stronger and surround people who would love you and treat it as an equal? The figure asked. Naruto looked at him with wide eyes, and without second thought he said something, that first thing that came to his mind when he heard those words. Yes. He responded, and the figure nodded at him and extends his hand towards Naruto. Come with me and I promise you of all the things I said to you. The figure said, and Naruto looks at him, skeptical look on his face. He looks at his eyes and saw that the man was not lying to him and took his hand. Then suddenly a powerful light happened that blinded Naruto for several seconds. After the light was gone, Naruto found himself to unknown place. Where are we? Naruto asked. He looked around. It was like looking through a kaleidoscope as he sees mix of iridescent colors, the place that looks like an endless void. We are in the dimension gap, this place where all the different worlds are connected. Anyone who enters this dimension without any magical protection immediately dies and dissolves into nothingness. The figure said. Then Naruto turns pale and started to panic. The figure notices the look on his face and put a hand on Naruto's shoulder to calm the boy. Calm down, I put a magic barrier around us before we were teleported here. The figure said. That Naruto sighed in relief. Naruto turns his attention to the figure with a confused look on his face. What do you mean magic? Magic is not real. Naruto stated, and the figure removes the hood and the mask to reveal his face. The man was very handsome and looked like in his mid-20s. The man had long black hair that was tied into a ponytail and was wearing a high-collar white coat that has a symbol of a blue cross in the back, black shirt underneath, black pants and a pair of boots. Kid, I'm taking you to a place called Earthland, and in that place is World of Magic. The man said, and Naruto looked at him confused. A world of magic? Naruto asked, and the man nodded at him. Yes, and to tell you the truth, I'm starting to get tired of living my life. The man stated, and Naruto was confused at this. Why? Naruto asked, and the man sighed and started to explain. I'm a mortal kid. I can't die from any sickness, old age or anything else, but I can die from the battlefield or giving my legacy to someone. The man said, then glances at Naruto. I decided to give my legacy Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The man said, and Naruto's eyes widened in shock in hearing this. What? Why and how the hell do you know my name? Naruto demanded. I see myself in you. To answer your next question on how I know your name, it's because I look through to your memories and all I could do for you is to pity you. He stated. Naruto was shocked in hearing this and lowered his head, and his eyes were overshadowed by his bangs. Just who are you? Naruto whispered, and man just kneeled down to Naruto level and patted his head. Naruto looked up and saw the man was smiling at him. I'm Light, and that's all you need to know, because after this conversation I'm giving all of my magic, skills and everything else that I have. Use these gifts to protect the people who are precious to you. Fight for what's right and become the strongest mage of Earthland, Naruto, Light said. Wait, what? Naruto shouted. Then suddenly Light placed 2 fingers on Naruto's forehead, and suddenly a powerful light happened again that made Naruto close his eyes. As Naruto closes his eyes, Naruto started to have different vision about magic, memories of light, and felt a great power enter to him. When the light was gone, Naruto slowly opened his eyes and found himself in a cave. Naruto suddenly a headache and vision keeps entering his mind. After 10 minutes Naruto recovered from his headache and started wandering around the cave, but eventually he found the exit of the cave and runs towards the light. When he was outside the cave, he found himself on the top of the mountain, and Naruto was amazed as he sees the view of Earthland. So this is Earthland. I never knew that this place is amazing, Naruto thought happily as he continues to observe view. After several seconds Naruto decided to explore Earthland. He suddenly jumps off the mountain, started to fall from the sky. Naruto just closed his as he let his body fall to the sky. When he was about to hit the ground, suddenly a magic circle appeared in his feet, and suddenly Naruto soared in the sky. Wahoo! Naruto screamed as he fly to sky. He felt that he was doing this for a long time, but it's because of Jin he knew how to access his magic. So this what magic feels like, it's awesome. Naruto screamed in his mind, and as he continues to fly in the sky, then he heard a powerful roar. He stopped from his track and looked down and saw a green eastern dragon destroying a village. Naruto was thinking what to do when suddenly he remembers light words. Use these gifts to protect the people who are precious to you, fight for what's right and become the strongest mage of Earthland. Naruto. He made me his legacy and wants me to help people, and I will do it, Naruto thought with a determined look on his face. Meteor. Suddenly Naruto was covered with yellow cloak and he charges toward the dragon with hypersonic speed. The dragon raised its claw and was about to slam it towards the little girl in front of him, when suddenly Naruto appeared before the girl, grabbed her and jumped out of the way to avoid the attack. The girl looks at his savior and Naruto just smiled at her. You alright? Naruto asked and the girl just nodded at him. Naruto puts the girl down and walks towards the dragon. Who are you, human? The dragon asked and Naruto just remained silent and looks up at the dragon in front of him. I doesn't matter since you're gonna die anyway, requip, Naruto shouted. Then suddenly his body started to glow for a second, and when the light was gone he was now wearing an armor with a shield in his hand. Think of Ronin in his Aegis Knight at Grand Chase. Aegis armor, Naruto said, then pulls out a sword from the shield and went to his stance. Die. The dragon roared as he charges at Naruto and Naruto holds his shield in front of him. The dragon head made contact with the shield and sent shockwave in their surroundings. Naruto used his shield and pushed the dragon head upward to make an opening. Suddenly his body was covered with yellow cloak again. Naruto charges at the dragon with great speed and bash his shield into the dragon chest and send the dragon crashing to one of the buildings of the town. Naruto leaps in the air, places both arms on top of each other, with the top hand having only the index and middle fingers spread out. 7 magic seals are drawn then summoned in front of him and connect, creating a constellation. Take this grand chariot, Naruto shouts, and each seals released a powerful blast of light towards the opponent. Boom! A great explosion happened from the dragon was standing. Naruto slowly comes down and approaches from where the explosion. Suddenly he heard a roar from the smokes and dragon reappeared in front of him. Die, you insect! The dragon opened his mouth and suddenly lightning started gather in his mouth and blasts it towards Naruto. Naruto raised his shield and blocked the attack. When Naruto lowered his shield, the dragon was suddenly in front of him with claws raised high. The dragon brought down his claws to attack Naruto. Meteor, Naruto roared as he quickly covered himself with yellow cloak and moved away from the dragon with speed of light. The dragon claws were stuck on the ground and Naruto saw this as perfect opportunity to finish him off. Time to end this, Naruto said as he created a magic circle in front of him. White magic. Blame Buster, Naruto said as he thrust his sword through the magic circle, and the magic circle unleashed a magic piercing stab attack towards the dragon chest. Attack pierced through the dragon chest. Everything was quiet like time has freeze until the dragon fell to the ground and the magic circle disappeared and Naruto changed back to his regular clothing. Naruto let out a sigh, then soon he started to hear people voices. He turns around and saw the people of the village were cheering for him. Soon people surrounded him and giving him their praise and thanking him. Alright everyone, give our hero some room. A voice said. Then Naruto searched where that voice came from and Naruto turned to his right and saw the people step aside and he saw an old man in front of him. The old man approaches Naruto and bow his head as sign of gratitude. I would like to thank you for saving us and my granddaughter from that dragon. May we know what our savior name is? The old man asked and Naruto just smiled at him. It felt good to recognize and really thankful that he'd taken light offer. This was starting of his new life, a new beginning. Naruto is my name, and who was that dragon anyway? Naruto asked. That dragon was Raito. He was a lightning dragon and he had been terrorizing our village for years. We sent several guilds for help, but all that taken the request were killed by the dragon. I thought that we would die today until you came to save us. The old man said as kneeled down and bowed his head to the ground, and soon everyone did the same. Naruto surprised at this and said, Well, I'm glad that I was able to help, but can I ask you a favor? Naruto asked. Anything, Naruto-sama. You save our village, at least we can do is to help you any way we can, the old man said. Can you give basic things like food and water and some money? I'm a traveler and I was about to do some hunting until I saw your village get attacked. Naruto said. He was hungry and thirsty after the battle and he doesn't have any money since that money he have back in the elemental nation won't work on this world. Of course Naruto-sama, but can you also help rebuilding our village first, and don't worry, we will provide you some shelter to stay until the rebuilding of the village is done. The old man said, and Naruto nodded at him. Then suddenly Naruto remembers something and grabs something from his pocket and pulls out a scroll. He opens the scroll and started reading it for several seconds before closing it. Then he did a hand sign and shouted, "Shadow Clone Jutsu." Suddenly a poof of smoke happened, and when the smoke was gone every villager's eyes widened in shock in what they just witnessed. Hundreds of clones of Naruto are standing before them. "Alright, let's rebuild the village," Naruto shouted. "Yosh!" All the clones shouted. 8 days later, days has passed as Naruto arrived at Earthland and been named hero of the small village. During his stay he would help out in rebuilding the village and continues his training in using ninjutsu and magic. Naruto was able to master most the basic chakra exercises with the help the clones and practicing his magic. Even Naruto knows of his magic thanks to light doesn't mean that he has complete control of it. Naruto would use light memories as his references for him to control his powers and create new techniques with it. He also been searching through the library books of the village, which he was surprised that was only building that wasn't destroyed, and started to read about Earthland and kinds of magic that he can find in the library with the help of the shadow clone. Naruto also asked the town people on what do with dragon cord because he doesn't know what do to with it. Some of the people offered him to make them dragon corpse into clothes for him, which he accepted gracefully, while remaining parts of the dragon were sealed in scroll. Naruto was wearing new clothes made out of the dragon corpse, which consisted of green vest with a white shirt underneath, black pants and a pair of boots. Naruto was standing in front of the village and facing the villagers who were sad in hearing their savior to leave, but they understood his reason. "Thank you for your hospitality and giving some the gifts you have given to me," Naruto said as he bowed his head. "No need to thank us, Naruto-sama. Thanks to you we have rebuilt that village in short amount of time and free us from the clutches of Raito. You have truly set us free," the old man said, then reaches something from his pocket, then pulls out and reveals to be a golden key. "Here, Naruto-sama. This is a gift from me and the village. This was going to be given from whoever defeated Raito, and you were able to defeat him, so this is yours," the old man said, and Naruto accepted the key and looked at the key and saw a sign of the Virgo. "From what I know is that this called the Zodiac key. Maybe I can form a contract with it," Naruto thought. Then he told everyone to give him some space and everyone complied. Then a magic circle appeared beneath him and powerful light happened. When the light was gone it revealed a cute girl with a short pink hair and she had green eyes. She was wearing a maid outfit and chain of shackles on her wrists. "Hello, my name is Virgo. I wish to know what the name of my new master is," Virgo asked. Everyone was amazed on how a girl suddenly appeared before them, but Naruto just smiled at the girl. "My name is Naruto," Naruto introduced himself. "Can I call you master?" Virgo asked, and Naruto nodded at her. "Well, master, I cannot be summoned at Sunday, but I'm free from Monday to Saturday for personal use, and abilities are earth magic and chain magic. Is there something that you would like for me to do, master?" Virgo asked. Naruto shook his head. "Nothing more, Virgo. You can return home now," Naruto stated, and Virgo nodded at him before she disappeared. He turns his attention to the villagers and he started to use his flight magic to float in the air. "Well, I bid you all farewell and thank you again for the gifts," Naruto said. The village said their goodbyes and Naruto fly away. As he continues to fly away he was deep on his thoughts. "I made the right decision in taking Light-san offer. Now I'm living my new life happily. I'm going to be the strongest mage of Earthland," Naruto vowed as he continues to fly away to a new adventure. 4 years has passed since Naruto arrived in Earthland, and Naruto could feel as that he is very happy and content of his life. He have taken up the life of a mercenary and been traveling around Earthland. He really is happy that he taken Light offer in coming to Earthland. During his travel, news about him defeating a dragon spread like a wildfire, and because of that news several dragons had search of Naruto and challenge him. Naruto was confused why dragons were searching for him, and it turns out because of him defeating Raito, who was a powerful lighting dragon and the current king of the lightning dragons. Naruto killed each dragon that challenged him to a fight, and so far he defeated 4 dragons and sealed their corpse in scroll, since he knows that he could make armors with it, until he asked Virgo what else he could make with the dragon corpse. He was surprised when Virgo informed him that he could make weapons and dragon lacrimas with it. He asked what are dragon lacrimas, and to his surprise that a dragon lacrima that is made out of dragon skull and the dragon heart. If he implanted the dragon lacrima to his body, this will grant him artificial dragon slayer magic, and really caught his interest. So he ordered Virgo make him several lacrimas, and Virgo told that it would take 5 years to create a single dragon lacrima, which didn't have problem. Also during those 4 years Naruto continues to master his magic and chakra. So far Naruto only techniques in chakra are the shadow clones and the 2 basic academy techniques, which are the replacement jutsu and the transformation jutsu. While in the magic area Naruto uses his shadow's clones to master his magic, and so far he almost got every single move that he got from light memory. Now Naruto was on the road and was heading towards the next city to get a job. He continues walking to the path where it will lead to his destination when suddenly he felt a very powerful magic in a nearby area. Naruto decided to head to that direction that was deep in the woods. After several minutes he found where the powerful magic source and found himself in an open area. "That's strange, I can sense the power here but I can't see it," Naruto said before he started searching in the open area. He walks to the center of the open area and notices a sign on the ground. Naruto crouched down to get a closer look and saw a symbol of a dragon, then suddenly a few writings appeared on the lower part of the symbol. Naruto looked at closely as he reads the words written on it. "Rise and be awakened, the first dragon god slayer," Naruto said, and Naruto was confused in what he read when suddenly the seal suddenly started to glow and soon a magic circle appeared beneath him. Before Naruto could make any reaction, a pillar of light from the sky hits him, and when the pillar was gone, and so was Naruto. Dragon Realm. Naruto opens his eyes and found himself standing in rocky area that was surrounded with mountains. Naruto looks in the sky and saw several dragons flying in the air. "What is this place?" Naruto muttered, and he turns around and his eyes widen in shock as he saw a giant gate with a symbol of dragon before him. Naruto got curious and touches the gate. As he made contact with the gate, the symbol suddenly glow white and the gate opened. Naruto's eyes widen and saw a beautiful garden field. Naruto steps inside and suddenly the gates closes. Naruto let out sigh since he knew there was no turning back and decided to proceed as he walks towards the field. Then he noticed a shadow on the ground and looks up and saw a dragon landing before the field. Naruto immediately changed to his Aegis armor and went to a defensive stance in case the dragon attack, but to his surprise the dragon leaned his head down towards Naruto and looks at him. Naruto decided to scan the dragon. It was Western dragon that 4 legs and it was color silver. The eyes were blue and have 2 golden horns to the side of its head and have a huge pair of dragon wings, and the final one that it has an emerald gem on the forehead. "Human, who are you and how did you get to this world?" the silver dragon asked. Naruto sensed no hostility towards the dragon and decided to lower his guard. "I'm Naruto Hakuto," Naruto said. He decided to abandon his identity as Namikaze and Uzumaki since he is Earthland now, and beside he hates to have remainder about his former family back home. "I was transported here when I felt a powerful magic source in the open field. I saw a symbol in the field and read the description when suddenly a magic circle appears under me and the next moment I was here," Naruto explained. The silver dragon eyes widened in hearing this, then suddenly the gem on its forehead started to glow. Naruto was curious on what was happening and was about to ask when suddenly he felt an intense pain in his body that made him scream in pain and change back to his normal clothing. The dragon eyes narrowed as he looks at Naruto, and after a few minutes has passed the pain in Naruto's body was gone. Naruto was panting heavily as he stands up. "What the hell is that?" Naruto asked, and soon he felt an intense burn in his body that made rip off his top clothing, and the dragon saw a symbol was creating on the back of Naruto. When the Naruto felt his body temperature was normal, he looks at his back and his eyes widen. "What the hell is this symbol?" Naruto asked in shock. "That symbol is proving that you shall be the first dragon god slayer. You will be the first dragon slayer that will master all the elements and will have power that will become the king among the dragon slayers and soon to be the king of all the dragons." The dragon explained, and Naruto looks at the dragon. "Let me explain, Naruto-san. There was prophecy that a child from another world will come here and become a legacy of a white powerful mage, and soon he will be the one to defeat the current dragon who is Aknologia." The dragon looks Naruto and said. "And you are that child, Naruto-san?" The dragon finished, and Naruto's eyes widen in hearing this. "But I'm not a dragon slayer. Yes, I killed few dragons, but I don't know that kind of magic," Naruto said, and the dragon spread his wings and let out a roar. I will be the one that shall train you Naruto. I'm Ryu, the first dragon that was ever been created in the Dragon God. I stand above all the dragons. I will be the one that shall make you the first Dragon God Slayer. Ryu stated, and Naruto's eyes widen. It's your destiny to become a Dragon Slayer Naruto. You shall be the first Dragon God Slayer and I will make sure of it. Ryu said, and Naruto knew that there was no way out of this. He could feel that Ryu is a very powerful being, that dragons he beat would be nothing but insects to Ryu. Beside, it wasn't that bad to learn a new magic that would help protect the people in need. Okay Ryu-san, I will become a Dragon Slayer that can kill a Dragon God. Naruto stated, and Ryu smirked at him. We shall begin your training tomorrow. Until then you can do what you please. Ryu said as he opened his wings and fly away, leaving Naruto. The blonde let out a sigh and thought one thing. This will be a long time. 10 years later. Dragon God Cosmic Roar. A 21-year-old Naruto shouted as released a rainbow-colored beam from his mouth. Ryu released the same beam towards Naruto. Both beam clashes one another and it caused a huge explosion. When the smoke was gone, Naruto looked around and he couldn't see Ryu. He decided to use his senses to locate the Dragon God. Then few seconds he felt where Ryu was located and immediately his hands was covered with rainbow color flames. Dragon God Cosmic Fist. Naruto shouted as he jumps in the air and saw Ryu was just above him. Naruto delivered the attack straight to the chest and sent Ryu crashing to several mountains. He used flight magic to maintain himself in the air. Suddenly he saw came out from the cloud smoke that was created from the crash impact and straight to the air and was above several feet away from him. Ryu opened his mouth and Naruto saw a fire was gathering around the Dragon God mouth. He decided to the same as he took a deep breath. Fire Dragon Roar. Naruto unleashed a stream of fire towards Ryu while Ryu released a stream of white flames towards him that made Naruto's eyes widen in shock. Both flames collided and the white flames easily overpowered Naruto's flames and headed towards the blonde. Naruto immediately fly away to avoid the attack and quickly head straight to Ryu, and his body was covered with rainbow-colored flames. Dragon Slayer's secret art. Naruto said as his speed increases and was headed towards Ryu. Cosmic Star Form. Elemental Dragon Blade. Naruto roared and the contact was made to Ryu's stomach. Then a massive explosion happened in the air that created a powerful shockwave that destroyed nearly everything in the area. When the smoke was cleared and saw Ryu was still there but has bruise on the chest while Naruto was few feet away from him and his body was covered with rainbow flame that he used. Then slowly the flame was vanishing and Naruto started to fall, but before Naruto could crash to the ground Ryu was able to catch him. Ryu let out a sigh as he gently placed Naruto to the ground. He can only stay at least an hour in his Dragon Force. Which I think is a big achievement for him, but that's not enough for him to defeat Aknologia, Ryu said. It's been 10 years since Naruto started to train to become a Dragon God Slayer. Ryu would force to wake up early and give him several heavy physical exercises which leave several bruises into Naruto's body. Next was learning the elements of the dragon, and thanks to Shadow Clone Jutsu, which was surprise to Ryu, he was able to master every single technique in each element. It taken Naruto at least 5 years to master all the elements, which made Ryu praised him. The next one was combining elements, and Naruto tried mixing several elements that he could think of, but the problem was once he combined 2 elements he felt great power increased, but the problem that he easily get tired after performing 5 attacks, which made him undergo another intense physical training which lasted 2 years to increase his magical reserves. The last part of the training was learning to enter the Dragon Force. Ryu explained Dragon Force is the final, most powerful state a Dragon Slayer can attain, granting them power comparable to that which a real dragon possesses, the power to utterly destroy everything. Ryu told him a way to enter Dragon Force state and involves absorbing a powerful amount of Ether Nano. So Ryu suggested him to try to meditate and tried if can absorb a great amount of Ether Nano at the same time. Ryu told him that also helps to build up some magical powers. It took several months for Naruto to learn to gather Ether Nano while meditating. Then Naruto thought some crazy idea which involves using shadow clones. After a few months Naruto finally achieved his Dragon Force stated, but he lasted only about 10 minutes, but nevertheless Ryu was impressed on Naruto that he was able to achieve his Dragon Force state. Several minutes have passed and Naruto started to wake up and saw Ryu looking at him. He immediately sat up and looks at Ryu. How long was I out? Naruto asked. About 30 minutes and you lasted in an hour in your Dragon Force state, which is good, but it's not enough for you to defeat Acnologia. Ryu explained, and Naruto just let out a sigh. Well, at least I'm making progress, Naruto stated, and Ryu nodded at him. Yes, and now we're done with your training, Naruto, Ryu said, and Naruto looks at him confused. What do you mean? I didn't defeat you, Naruto stated. I didn't say that needed to defeat me, Naruto, but I wanted to know how long you were able to stay in your Dragon Force state, and being an hour in that state is good enough for me. Now I'm going to send you back to Earthland. But before I send you back to Earthland, I will tell you a few things, Ryu stated, and Naruto nodded at him. First is that the dragons will disappear in Earthland because of an event which is known as the Dragon King Festival, and leaving some of their foster sons and daughters in the world. Next is that I suggested that you age at least age of an 11-year-old, since of most the Dragon Slayer around that age, Ryu said, and Naruto groaned in annoyance. Being that age, that means that he has going to all that physical training again and once again needs to go through puberty. Ryu just rolled his eyes when he heard Naruto groan and slap him the back of the head. Look on the bright side, Naruto, at least now you won't to relearn in mastering the elements of the Dragon Slayer. Besides, this would be good opportunity for you to make friends with those Dragon Slayers, Ryu stated, and Naruto just glared at him, which rubbing the back of his head. And the last thing is that no matter what happened, I'm proud of you and I sure that you would become the next Dragon King, Ryu stated, causing Naruto to look at him with wide eyes. He never knew that Ryu had great faith in him, and hearing those words made determined to become the next Dragon King to fulfill the prophecy. Naruto just gave him a goofy grin and a thumbs up. You can count on me, old man, Naruto stated, and Ryu just chuckled at the blonde's words. I know you will, Naruto. Now stand up and I will teleport you back to Earthland, Ryu said, and Naruto did what he was told. Then a magic circle appeared beneath Naruto. Soon he disappeared into nothingness. Ryu looks up in the sky and muttered, "Good luck, Naruto, my foster son." Earthland. A magic circle appeared on the ground and soon Naruto materialized. When the magic circle was gone, Naruto opened his eyes and found himself in where he was before. Naruto let out a sigh and clapped his hands together. Then a magic circle appeared beneath him. White magic. Age reversal, Naruto said, and his body started to glow white and his body started to de-age. When his body stops glowing and the magic circle disappeared, Naruto aged back into an 11-year-old. He let out a sigh and looks at his body. Well, I better head to town now. I haven't any good food in 10 years, Naruto said as he started to run towards the next town. 2 years later, x 779. 2 years has passed since Naruto returned to Ireland and things have changed. He still continues to travel around Earthland and keep doing mission that he was interested that involves escorting mission and exterminating dark guilds. Naruto continues to train his body back once he had before he left the Dragon Realm. Also, Naruto started to develop different kinds of seals that he would use in battle, and he's still trying to duplicate Minato Hiroshin no Jutsu, which got from the notes that he stole before leaving his former home, and so far Naruto was still having a hard time to recreate it. Now Naruto was in Magnolia and headed to a certain guild to join, since he decided that he had enough traveling around and decided to join a guild, and also heard a rumor that there was a dragon slayer in that guild which really caught his interest, and that guild name is Fairy Tail. He wore a mask that covered the lower part of his face, like Kakashi, and was wearing a white bandana. Also he wearing a white cloak that covered his body. After walking around the Magnolia, he finally arrived at the Fairy Tail building. All he could say that he was impressed on how the building is. He grabs the handle of the door and opened it. He looks around and saw there were many people talking to each other, and there was something that caught his attention. "Come on, pervert, is that all you got?" the pink hair boy shouted. The boy was around his age, and the boy was wearing red sleeve shirt, baggy short, black sandals, and has a scarf around his neck. This boy was Natsu Dragneel. "You're going down, Flame Brain," the black hair boy said. He was half naked and was only wearing a boxer. This boy was Grey Fullbuster. The boys clash against one another, and Naruto only sweat drop in seeing this. "Hello, young man, why did you come here?" a voice said. Naruto looks at the down a little, saw an extreme old man. He was a white shirt with black Fairy Tail stamp in the middle, which covered by an orange hoodie, matching orange shorts, and an orange and blue stripes designed jester hat. I'm looking for the master of the guild," Naruto asked, and the old man chuckles at him. "Well, you are already speaking to him. I'm Makarov Drayar. You wish to join Fairy Tail?" Makarov asked, and Naruto nodded at him, then jumped to the bar stool and shouted. Everybody listen up. Makarov called, and everyone in the guild stops in what they are doing, even the two boys who were fighting one another, and look at their master. We have a new member of Fairy Tail and his name is... Makarov looks at Naruto and Naruto nodded at him and steps forward. I'm Naruto Hakuto, or you may know me as the White Wandering Mage. I hope we all get along. Naruto said. Everyone in the guild eyes widen in hearing this, even Makarov, except some kids. During Naruto travel he made a name for himself and earned the nickname, the White Wandering Mage, because of him wearing white clothing, and was known for never failing a mission, not even once. Many of the guilds have been trying to recruit him from legal guild to dark guild. Even the King of Fury itself wanted Naruto to work under him. He would turn down all the offers, but dark guilds didn't take his answer well and decided to use force only for Naruto beat the shit out of them, leaving them with several bones broken. Makarov was grinning like a madman in seeing that he recruited a powerful mage like Naruto, while the rest of the guilds who knows about the White Wandering Mage were wondering if he is really the real one, because he seemed too young to take down dark guilds. Well, this is interesting, Naruto, Makarov said. Then he decided to break the tension. What are all just standing there? Let's celebrate for the newest members of the guild, Makarov said, and everyone break out from their thoughts and started to celebrate for their newest member of the guild, which is Naruto, and the blonde could do was chuckle beneath his mask. Also he received his fairy tail mark on his right shoulder with the color of white. Time skip. So Naruto, what is your magic? A girl that has brown hair, that has her hair tied into a ponytail, purple eyes, and was wearing a simple orange dress. This girl was Kana Alberona. She was the first person who introduces herself to Naruto. Naruto gave her an eye smile and said, I know several magics, but how about I show you a demo? Naruto said, and Kana nodded at him. Hey master, Naruto called as he and Kana approaches Makarov, who was enjoying the party. Makarov turns around and saw Naruto and Kana approaching him. What is it, Naruto? Makarov asked, and Naruto has smirk beneath his mask. Master, Kana-chan wants to know my magic. Can I use my magic on you, and I promise this won't hurt you? Naruto said, and Makarov raised a brow and decided to do it since he himself was curious on what Naruto magic is. Sure Naruto, everyone, Naruto here is going to demonstrate his magic, Makarov announces, and everyone the guild was caught by this and gather around to watch Naruto do his magic. Naruto just continues smirking beneath his mask. He told Makarov to stand on the center, and Makarov did what he was told and closed his eyes. Then Naruto claps his hands together and a magic circle appeared beneath Makarov, and Naruto shouted. White magic. Age reversal. Soon Makarov's body started to glow and started to de-age. Everyone in the eyes widened as they saw their master appearance was changing. Naruto stops the spell, and soon magic circle disappeared and Makarov's body stops glowing. Makarov opened his eyes and looked at everyone confused since they saw everyone had shock look on their face. What's wrong everyone? Makarov asked with his younger voice. Makarov notices his voice change and looks at his hands, then the rest of his body. Then he asked someone to give him a mirror, and someone gave him a mirror, and his eyes widened in shock in what he saw in the mirror. He was in his 40s again. His hair was yellow again, and he doesn't have a mustache anymore. He looks at Naruto, who gave him an eye smile. Naruto, what did you do to me? Makarov said in shock. I de-age you. I use one of my spells of magic. My magic is called white magic. A magic that can create or save lives. A magic that gives hopes to others. Naruto explained, and soon clapped his hands again, and the magic circle appeared beneath Makarov again and was changing back to his current age. When it was done, Naruto looks at everyone in the guild and notices all of them had shock look on their faces, and he couldn't help but grin underneath his mask. He loves seeing people have shock look on their face if he uses his magic. TT, that was awesome. Natsu shouted. He was the first one snapped out from his shock. Soon everyone snapped out from their shock and started complimenting Naruto with his magic. Amazing, a magic like that exists. This kid will be a hero one day. We are lucky to have someone like him to join the guild. Naruto just smiled in hearing those compliments. Then he saw Makarov approaches him and patted his shoulder. That is one interesting magic, Naruto. I never knew that kind of magic exists. Magic that can create or saves lives, gives hopes to others. Use your magic wisely, Naruto. That is great gift, and I'm sure many would want that magic. Makarov said, and Naruto just smiled beneath his mask. Don't worry master, I won't use my white magic that much, besides I don't those council demanding me to work for them. Naruto stated. He already knows about the Magic Council, and needless to say he hates the council because he knows that those people are hungry powered bastards, people who would do anything for power. Makarov nodded in understanding because he knew what the council would do if they ever found out Naruto magic can do. Well, were you impressed by that, Kana-chan? Naruto asked as he turns his attention to Kana, who was still surprised in seeing his magic. All the girl could do was nod her head, but the girl decided to ask a question. Naruto, what else can your white magic can do? Kana asked, and before Naruto could answer they heard a war cry. Naruto turns around and saw Natsu charging at him. Fight me Naruto! Natsu shouted as his fists were covered with flames, and Naruto smirked beneath his mask and decided to do the same. Naruto's right hand formed into a fist, then it was covered with flames like Natsu. He charges at Natsu with his fist ready, and soon both fist clashes. Natsu's eyes widen when he saw this and jump away from Naruto, and the blonde did the same. You're a dragon slayer? Natsu said in shock, and Naruto nodded at him. But not just any dragon slayer. Naruto stated, then his flame hand changed into ice that made Natsu look at him with wide eyes. I'm Dragon God Slayer, meaning that I master every single element of Dragon Slayer can know. Naruto stated, and everyone in the guild was surprised in hearing this, especially Natsu. Now everyone in the guild starting to think that Naruto would be strongest fairy tale mage in the future. Natsu grinned in hearing this. That awesome? Who was your dragon? Do you know Igneel? My dragon name was Ryu, who was the first dragon been created and was a dragon god. Naruto stated. And no, I don't know any dragon name Igneel, sorry about that. Anyway, I didn't get your name, who are you? Naruto asked. I'm Natsu Dragneel, and as fellow dragon slayer I challenge you to a fight. Natsu yelled, and everyone in the guild just sweat dropped at this. Naruto looks at Natsu for several seconds and answered him. Sorry Natsu, but I have to say no, Naruto said, and Natsu pouted at him. But why? Natsu whined. It's because I can see that you haven't completed your training yet, Naruto said. Natsu just looked shocked. How did you? Because my dragon told me some traits that I can see if some dragon slayer finished their training, and I'm sure you didn't finish yours. Tell me, do you know how to access your Dragon Force state? Naruto asked, and the guild looked at this with interest. Natsu, realizing he didn't know how to finish his dragon training, looked down sadly. Naruto didn't like seeing Natsu's face like that, decided to help him. Natsu, I have an offer for you. Natsu looks at him. Since I finish my Dragon Slayer training, how about I help you finishing your Dragon Slayer training? I'll even teach you some of the Fire Dragon Slayer secret art. But you have to promise me that you have to use your power to protect your friends and don't whine how I train you, got it? Naruto said. Natsu perked up hearing this and proceeded to hug the life out of Naruto and saying thank you to him. Naruto just smiled beneath mask and ruffled Natsu's head like brother would do. Natsu let go of Naruto, and the blonde said to him that they would start his training tomorrow, which the Natsu nodded his head with excitement on his face and soon started fighting Gray again, which made Naruto sweat drop. That was nice of you, Naruto-san. A voice said. Naruto turns around and saw a girl that has crimson hair and brown eyes. She was wearing an armor on the upper part of her body, a long skirt, and has belt that straps the sword around her waist, black leggings, and was wearing brown shoes. This girl was Urza Scarlet. I'm always happy to help another dragon slayer, and by the way, who are you? Naruto asked. Urza Scarlet. Urza said as she extends her hand towards Naruto, and Naruto just gave her an eye smile and accepts her handshake. It's nice to meet you, Urza-chan. Naruto said, and Urza was surprised on how Naruto addressed her and couldn't help but blush a little, but it wasn't noticeable. Suddenly the doors opened and revealed to be 3 people. The girl in the middle has white hair that was tied to ponytail and blue eyes. She was wearing black tank top, black short shorts, and thigh-high black socks with heavy boots. This girl is Mirajane Strauss. In the right was young boy that had white spiky hair and blue eyes. He was wearing a blue suit with a red bow. This boy is Elfman Strauss and the younger brother of Mirajane. The last one is the one in the right. The girl had short white hair and blue eyes and was wearing a simple pink dress with red stripe. This girl is Lisanna Strauss and the youngest member of the Strauss siblings. We're back. Mirajane shouted as she enters the guild with Elfman and Lisana follow her. Mirajane notices Naruto and approaches him. "Who are you? Are you a newbie?" Mira asked with a cocky tone, and Naruto just raised a brow at her. "I'm Naruto Hakuto, and yes, I'm a new member of the guild. I just joined today," Naruto said. "You look like a weakling, why bother joining the guild? You know that you can get hurt." Mira mocked him. "Mira, that's enough. He just a new member of the guild, don't bully him." Urza scolded her and Mira glares at Urza. "Don't tell me what to do, Red," Mira shouted, and Urza was about to shout back when suddenly Naruto raised his hand in signaling her to stop. "That's enough, Urza-chan, you don't need to waste your time on Goth over here," Naruto said, and Urza snickered at that comment while Mira gave him a menacing glare. "Yeah, I guess you're right, Naruto-san," Urza said, and Naruto just chuckled at her. "What was that, newbie?" Mira screamed with anger in her eyes, and Naruto turns to her and his eyes widen a bit. "Oh, you're still here? I thought you left, old hag." Naruto insulted her, and Urza just snickered again in that while rest of the guild was looking at Naruto with jaw dropped. Since everyone knew about Mira's personality, while the kids were thinking that Naruto was asking for a death wish. "Naruto, run for your life," Natsu warned the blonde, and Naruto turns to the pink dragon slayer and asked, "Why?" "Because you're dead, that's why," Mira said, and Naruto turns around and saw Mira foot was coming towards him, and he quickly reacts as he crouches down to avoid the attack. Mira tries to kick him again, only for Naruto to avoid as he jumps away from her to avoid the attack and making a distance towards him and Mira. "Whoa, take it easy there, Mira-chan," Naruto said casually, and Mira was pissed at him calling her with a suffix like that. "You're a dead man, Satan soul," Mira shouted as magic circle appeared above her and she transforms into a demonic version of herself. I'm not gonna describe it since you all know what it looks like, if not just search for it. Mira fly towards Naruto with great speed with her fist ready and was about hit Naruto in the face. "Naruto, look out," Natsu shouted at him, and Naruto just stand there and waiting for Mira to come closer to him. Pow! Then suddenly the guild was silent as they were shocked in what they witnessed, while Makarov was looking at Naruto with calculative eyes as they witnessed something that never seen before. Naruto stops Mira fist with a finger only. Mira was completely shocked in seeing this, while Naruto just raised a brow at her. How did you stop my attack with your finger only?" Mira asked in shock. Then Naruto just smirked beneath his mask and grabbed Mira's wrist and pulls her closer to him. Naruto leans forward to her ear and whispered, "You're too early to challenge me, Mirajane." With that he flicks her to the forehead and Mira was sent crashing to the wall. Everyone was surprised at this, while Makarov was impressed at Naruto's power. "He stopped Mirajane's attack with one finger only," Grace said in shock. "He's pretty strong," Natsu said. "He also sent her crashing to the wall with a flick of a finger," Kana said in shock. Mirajane removes herself from the wall and glares at Naruto. "I challenge you to a fight, Hakuto," Mira demanded, and Naruto just raised a brow at her. "Are you sure, Mira-chan? You are only going to get hurt," Naruto said, and Mira just continues to glare at him. Naruto knows that look, and it means that she not gonna take no as an answer. Naruto a sigh and said, "Fine, let fight, but let's go outside since I don't want to destroy the guild that I just joined." With that everyone heads outside the guild. "Outside? Are you sure that you want to do this?" Naruto asked, and Mira just glares at him and still in her demonic form. "I sure do, I'm gonna beat you to a pulp," Mira shouted, and Naruto just let out a sigh and removes his cloak and reveals body. Naruto was wearing a sleeveless white shirt with high, golden bordered collar and pants of a matching color. On his feet he wore a pair of black boots. He wears arm warmers with golden borders as well that go from his wrist to his biceps. He wore a pair of white gauntlets in his hands and has sword strapped around his back. He started to remove his mask and bandana that reveals his entire face. Most the girls in his age started to blush when they saw how handsome he was. Even Mirajane was taken off guard by Naruto's appearance. "Whoa, Naruto-kun is so handsome," Kana squealed like a fangirl. "Yeah, he sure is handsome," Lisana admitted with a blush on her face. "Is he a human cat?" a blue cat asked. That cat was happy and was Lisana and Natsu, child. "What do you mean happy?" Natsu asked. "Look, he has whisker marks on his sides," Happy stated, and Natsu looks at Naruto's face again and saw the marks. You're right, I can't wait for him to train me tomorrow and I'm gonna fight him after that, Natsu said as he pumped his fist in the air. Natsu. Naruto called and caught the pink dragon slayer attention. You better pay attention to this fight, Naruto said and Natsu nodded at him. Are both fighters ready? Makarov ready and both fighters nodded at him. Begin. Mira-Jane charges at Naruto with her fist ready and Naruto has were ignited with flames. RAHHHHH, Fire Dragon Iron Fist. Both fist and it was powerful enough to create a shockwave around them and two mercilessly started to trade blows against one another. Everyone in the guild could do was watch them in awe and shock. Naruto and Mira-Jane are evenly matched, Gray said in shock. Yeah, they keep throwing blows at one another non-stop, Kana said. No, you're both wrong, they're not evenly matched, Urza said and Kids looks at her. What do you mean, Urza? Natsu asked. Look Naruto-san face closely, Urza said and the kids look at Naruto and saw his face which made them confused. Why does Naruto look like he's bored? Natsu asked. Because he's toying with Mira-Jane. Makarov cuts in the children conversation. Toying with her master? They look like they're evenly matched, Elfman said. I could feel that Naruto is holding back a lot of his magic and I would say that he is fighting only 10% of his power. Makarov said and everyone who listening to Master explanation were surprised in hearing this. They never knew that Naruto was holding back a lot and easily par with Mira-Jane's strength in her Saiyan soul form. With Naruto and Mira, is that all you got? Mira mocked as she dodges a right-hand hook in courtesy of Naruto. No, and for your information Mira, I'm holding back a lot, Naruto said and Mira-Jane eyes widen hearing this then glares at him. Don't underestimate me you bastard, Mira screeched as she charges at Naruto. Ice Dragon Roar. Naruto shouted as he releases a stream of ice from his mouth and freezes Mira in her place. Everyone in the guild was surprised at seeing this. He was able to create a stream of ice, Gray said in shock. I thought that's he's a fire dragon slayer? Kana asked. Makarov decided to ask Natsu since the pink dragon slayer was able to the blonde earlier. Natsu. Makarov called and Natsu looks at him. What was the name of Naruto dragon that taught him dragon slayer magic? I think its name was, Ryu and Naruto told me that he was dragon god but that's all I remember. Naruto said and Makarov was surprised in hearing but decided to ask the blonde later. Here comes the next one. Light Dragon Roar. Naruto shouted before releasing a white beam from his mouth and towards Mira. Mira used super strength to escape from the ice that freezes her and quickly spreads her wing and fly away to narrowly avoid the attack. She was several meters away from Naruto in the air. Mira looks down at Naruto and glares at the blonde then started to form a black orb in her hand. Take this soul extinction. Mira roared as she releases a black-purple beam towards Naruto and Naruto was not moving at all. He's done for, Gray said. I agree with you there Gray, Kana said. Naruto move out of the way. Natsu shouted and Naruto just looks at Natsu. Oi Natsu. Naruto called and Natsu looks at him and saw that Naruto has smirk on his face. I'm gonna show you one of the things that teaching you once we start training. Naruto said before turning back to the black beam that was heading towards him. His hands were ignited with flames and took a stance. Dragon Slayer Art. Naruto said and suddenly his body was covered with flames and took a form of a dragon. Everybody eyes widen in shock eyes in seeing this especially Natsu and he could have sworn that he just saw a visage of Ignil behind Naruto. Crimson Lotus. Exploding Flame Blade. Naruto roared as he swipes his arms in a circular fashion, creating a powerful and highly destructive torrent of flames towards Mira Black Beam. Both attack clashes against one another but in the end Naruto attack overpowers Mira and made the black beam vanished. What? Mira shouted in shock as she saw her attack was overpowered and it was headed towards her and soon she was enveloped in flames and soon when the attack was finished her body changed back to normal and she started to fall from the sky. Naruto immediately used his flight magic to fly towards Mira and catches. Naruto looks at Mira and saw that she was unconscious. He slowly lands to the ground and soon and looks at Makarov who still had shock look on his face. Well master, are you going to call the match? Naruto asked and making Makarov snapped out from his thoughts. Winner Naruto Hakuto. That was awesome Naruto, you got to teach me that. Natsu shouted with an excited look on his face. The match was over and everyone returned to the guild hall, and also Mira was put in the infirmary, and many people were talking about the match they witnessed today. Also some of the guild members are saying that Naruto was going to the strongest member of the guild in the future. Naruto smiled at Natsu and ruffled his hair. "Don't worry, I'll be teaching that after I teach all the basic techniques that I know," Naruto said, and Natsu pouted at him. "But why can't you teach me that move? It was awesome," Natsu whined. "Because that's an advanced level move and you're not ready for that yet, but don't worry, I'm gonna teach you that too once you learn all the basics," Naruto said, and Natsu just grinned at him. The Pink Dragon Slayer was happy that he could finally be able his dragon training, and not only that, he would also learn Naruto awesome moves. "Naruto-san, that was a great match," Gray said as he and other kids approaches Naruto. "Yeah, and I thought you have lose from the moment, Mira-ni-chan," Lisana said, and Naruto just chuckled at the girl. "Thanks for the compliment, by the way I don't know your names yet," Naruto said, and soon the kids starting introducing themselves. "I'm Gray Fullbuster," Gray said, or known as Stripper. Natsu insulted, and Gray gains a tick mark on his forehead. "What was Ash Brain?" Gray shouted, and soon both kids head butted one another. "You heard me, Snowman. You wanna go, Squinty Eyes? You're on Droopy Eyes." Soon both kids started to fight against another, and Naruto and the other kids couldn't help but sweat drop at this. "Are they always like this?" Naruto asked a girl with blue hair that was tied into a ponytail, and she has hazel eyes. She wore a yellow sleeveless shirt with a red stripe down in the middle with a brown skirt and sandals. This girl is Levi McGarden. Levi nodded her head and said, "Yup, they always fight after they insult one another." Naruto just nodded and asked, "By the way, who are you?" "I'm Levi McGarden, nice to meet you," Levi said, and Naruto just smiled and nodded at her. Then he turns his attention to the Strauss siblings. "And you two, judging by your white hair and blue eyes, I would say that you are both Mira siblings," Naruto said, and the siblings nodded at him. "Yup, I'm Lisana, the youngest one of the Strauss siblings," Lisana said. "And I'm Elfman, it's nice to meet you, Naruto-san," Elfman said as he extends his hand, and Naruto accepts it. "Likewise, Elfman, well, I better get apartment first since I'm gonna stay in Magnolia. See ya all later," Naruto said before leaving the guild. "Alright, where is he?" Mira roared as she kicks down the door of the infirmary, and she was covered in bandages. "He already left, Mira-ne. He said that he is going to look for an apartment," Elfman explained, and Mira bolted out from the guild hall and would try to find Naruto to challenge him to a fight again. Wow, Mira really wanted to fight Naruto again, Kana said, and the two siblings nodded at her. "Looks like Urza won't be having a rival since Mira would keep challenging Naruto from now on," Lisana said. "And she will only lose to Naruto-san since he is clearly stronger than her, and maybe he might be at Laxus level," Urza said. Then she spotted Natsu and Gray fighting and headed to stop the duo from fighting inside the guild again. "Urza is wrong, Naruto might be in the League of Guild Arts, and I'm sure that Naruto would be the strongest member of the guild in the future," Makarov thought as he continues to think about Naruto abilities and who he is. "With Naruto. Well, now that I got a good apartment, now to look for some food to eat," Naruto said as he continues to walk around Magnolia and clearly ignoring everything else. Naruto stops from his tracks and turns around and saw Mira, who still has bandages around her body, and was glaring at him. "Oi, Mira-chan, you shouldn't walk around like that, and you're still injured," Naruto said as he run towards Mira. He attempts to heal her, but Mira slapped his hand away and pointed at Naruto. "Naruto, I demand a rematch," Mira demanded, and Naruto just rolled his eyes and his hand glow white and place it on Mira bandage. Mira closed her eye and she feels the pain, but soon she felt the pain was going away. She opened her eyes and saw Naruto was healing her injuries. What are you doing?" Mira demanded with small blush on her face. "I'm healing your injuries, and no, I'm not fighting you," Naruto said. "Didn't you hear what I said? I demand a rematch," Mira said, and Naruto just ignored her, much to her annoyance, but couldn't help but feel better as Naruto continues to heal her. Few minutes later, Naruto was done healing her. "They're all done. Well, I'm going now," Naruto said as he started to walk away, and soon Mira snapped out her thoughts and quickly grabbed Naruto's arm, making the blonde turn back his attention to her. "I said I want a rematch here and now," Mira demanded, and Naruto just rolled his eyes. "Mira, you're injured, and what's the rush? If you really want to defeat me, how about train first?" Naruto suggested as he pulls away and started to walk away, which made Mira pissed. Naruto senses Mira killing intent towards him. Seda. Mira couldn't finish the spell because Naruto suddenly disappeared and reappeared behind her and pressed her pressure point, knocking her out. Naruto just let out a sigh and carried her in piggyback style. Well, so much for getting some food. Maybe I can find some good food in the guild, Naruto thought as he headed to the guild while carrying Mira in his back. 7 months later, 7 months has passed since Naruto joined Fairy Tail, and the reputation of Fairy Tail grew bigger thanks to him. The rumor about the White Wandering Mage joining Fairy Tail spread like a wildfire. Soon the guild received many clients. Even the King of Fury himself sends a request that specifically asked Naruto for the job, and the jobs that he taken always been successful. Also, Naruto title from the White Wandering Mage to White Mage of Fairy Tail. Also, he earned another title, and that is the Rune Master, because of his mastery of runes, but in reality it was because of his fuinjutsu skills that he was able to earn that title, since seals are more complicated and complex than runes, and rearranging, removing or translating runes are child play to him as soon he began learning them. Also, Naruto finally given up in cracking Minato notes for the Hiroshin no Jutsu, since he finally realizes that he doesn't need to learn that technique because he was already fast enough because of his heavenly body magic. Naruto also has been training Natsu in finishing his Dragon Slayer training and been showing him some of the techniques of all the basic Fire Dragon Slayer art before advancing him to higher level, and also he is giving him the same physical training that he went through. Now Natsu is wearing weights in his wrist and ankles that have weight of 150 pounds each, which made him stronger, and with that he finally keeps winning against Gray in some of their fight, which much dismay of the Ice Mage. So Gray decided to ask Naruto to train him also, which the blonde has no problem, and soon the two were even again, and they keep ending in a draw in their fight. Also, Naruto become a brother figure in both boys. Naruto has been challenged by Mira time to time only to be defeated easily, and sometimes Urza would challenge him and only to be defeated by Naruto in the end, but Naruto decided to teach Urza more about requip magic and how to properly wield a sword, since Naruto saw that Urza swings wildly and giving herself a lot of opening. Naruto has been summoned by the council from time to time, but he always declined or ignored their summoning, which only made the council pissed at him. One of the messenger asked why he doesn't want to come and see the council, and Naruto gave his answer. It's because I hate those kinds of people. They're nothing but power-hungry idiots, and they value property damage more than the lives of the people, so they can shove that giant pole in their ass. Since then the council tried everything they could to make Naruto meet them, but thanks to immunity that he got from the king as a reward, he can ignore any of the council summon, which made them even more pissed. Also, Naruto got a field promotion as an S-class wizard, which really surprised everyone because Naruto only joined them in a few months and got promoted at being S-class wizard, but Laxus, who was the grandson of Makarov, protested, saying that Naruto wasn't cut out to be an S-class mage. So Naruto offered him a challenge to Laxus, and challenge was to a fight against him. Laxus immediately accepted, but in the end he regretted because Naruto beat him senseless for insulting him, and the assault continued for 5 minutes until Naruto delivered the final blow to knock him out. Since that day no one tries to piss off Naruto, since they saw Laxus couldn't even have chance to fight back at him. He also earned another title, and which was the Demon King of Fairy Tail, because of ruthlessness in beating out of his target when his pissed, leaving them several bones broken. Now Naruto was looking at request board in the upper part of the guild, and he picks a job. The mission was about extremely rare gem in an abandoned ruins, and the reward is 6,200,000 jewels and an unknown lacrima, which caught his interest. He grabs the paper and headed to the lower level of the guild. Naruto ni! Natsu shouted, and Naruto turned to his right and saw the pink dragon slayer approaching him. What kind mission are you going? Naruto was about to speak, then somebody interrupts him. Naruto, fight me, you bastard! Mira shouted as Naruto saw Mira was standing few meters away from him. No, Naruto said coolly before returning back his conversation to Natsu. Wrong answer, Mira shouted as she leaps towards Naruto with her fist ready, only for Naruto easily caught her hand, then slams her to the ground. He crouches down to Mira level while Mira looks up and glare at him. DD damn YYU, Mira said, and Naruto just gave her an eye smile and patted her head, making her even more pissed at him. Just stay down there, Mira-chan, Naruto said before he pressed her pressure point in the neck and knocking her out. He heads towards to Makarov, who was drinking a beer. Master, I'm going to take this mission. Naruto said as he handed the paper to Makarov. Hey, can I come with you? Natsu asked as he approaches them. Ever since Naruto become S-class wizard, he had been taking S-class missions and finishing them within few hours or few days, which was surprised since most S-class mission takes at least a week or more to finish. Naruto had taken Natsu and few of his friends in one of his S-class mission for them to experience it a little about becoming an S-class wizard. Ever since then Natsu would always ask Naruto if he can come some of his mission. Me too, Naruto, Gray said as he also approaches them, only wearing a pair of boxers. No way, stripper, Natsu shouted at Gray. I wasn't asking you, fire breath. Gray shouted back, and soon the two started to rumble, and Makarov and Naruto just let out a sigh since this was pretty normal. Hey, what's going on, Naruto? Lizana asked. She approaches Naruto. Oh, I was going to a mission that involves finding an extremely rare gem that could be found in an abandoned ruin. Naruto explained. Can I come? Lizana asked, which caught everyone's attention. Even Mira suddenly wakes up in hearing this. This was the first time that Lizana asked Naruto come in his mission. Are you sure, Lizana? This can be very dangerous since it's an abandoned ruin and it could be full of traps. Naruto asked, and Lizana nodded at him, surprising him more. Yeah, I wanted to experience what an S-class mission is, Lizana said with an exciting voice. No, I won't allow you, Lizana. Mira interrupted their conversation. But Mira, nay, I want to. Lizana whined while giving her the puppy dog eyes. No means no, Lizana, Mira shouted, and Lizana was about to argue when she felt Naruto's hand on her shoulder. She looks at Naruto, and Naruto said to her, Lizana, there's a reason why these missions are labeled as S-class mission. It's because they are very dangerous, that you could lose your life, or there might be chance that you could never become a mage again after the mission because of the horror of the mission. That's why I took Natsu or the others in some of my S-class mission. It's because I wanted them to see the reality of becoming an S-class mission. So Lizana, I'm sorry, but you can't come with me, Naruto explained, and Lizana pouted at him, and Naruto decided to look at Lizana's eyes to look at her memories. After a few seconds in looking at her memories, he let out a sigh. Master, I change my mind, I'm not going to take the mission, Naruto said, and everyone was surprised at this. And why is that, Naruto? Makarov asked. He was curious because this was the first time he was hearing this. Because something tells me that Lizana-chan only wanted come to know me better, Naruto said with a smirk beneath his mask. Mira and Lizana were surprising in hearing this. Is that true, Lizana? Mira asked as she turns to her little sister, and she saw that Lizana was blushing in embarrassment and was poking her fingers together like Hinata, making Mira's eyes widen in shock. Lizana was nervous to answer and wondering how Naruto was able to know her plan. Lizana, if you want, we can take a simple mission and talk. What do you say? Naruto asked, and Lizana, all she could do was nod and was happy that she be able to get Naruto better. Time skip. So why are you here again, Mira-chan? Naruto asked. They were currently riding a train. Naruto and Lizana took a simple mission about capturing some bandits. It's because I don't trust you taking care of my little sister, Mira said as she glares at Naruto with her arms crossed, and Naruto just let out a nervous chuckle. He turns his attention to Lizana, who looking the window. Lizana, Naruto called, which caught the young girl attention. So what are things that you wanted to know about me? Naruto asked, and Lizana turned to Naruto. I wanted to know who you are and what your story is, Lizana said, and Mira also caught interest in Lizana's question since she also wanted to know who exactly Naruto is. Naruto looks at her surprised and said, Are you sure that you want to hear my story? Lizana nodded at him. Naruto let out a sigh as he looks at the window. Well, it began when I was 7, or should I say that I was born? Mira and Lizana looks at him confused. Back then in my village I was the son of village leader, but you think that I had a happy-go-lucky life, but I didn't. Instead I was ignored by the village and my family, Naruto stated, making the two girls looking at him with wide eyes. You were ignored? But why? You were a son of the village leader. They had at least treated you like royalty, or at least recognized your existence, Lizana said. Naruto just looked at her with a sad smile. I didn't. I had a twin sister, and the village and my family treated her like she was the only thing that was valuable in the world, while I was neglected and shunned by everybody, forcing me to grow up fast, Naruto said, and both girls were saddened in hearing this. I was neglected and shunned by everyone for 7 years. Imagine what would happen if you were in my position. Naruto said, and the girls stayed silent since they had their own answer and didn't like it and decided to keep quiet. Then I decided that I would get my parents' attention if I was able to do something that twin couldn't do. I would be praised, so I decided to take a scroll from family library and try to learn an advanced exercise that my sister didn't know yet. I practiced for hours just to master it. Then after I showed it to you, what happened next? Naruto asked. They praised you. Lizana answered, hoping that her answer was correct, but Naruto just shook his head. No, they slapped me and called me that I was a piece of trash and that I was an idiot. Naruto said, and both girls were surprised at this and couldn't help but feel sorry to Naruto. After that I decided to run away from home and traveled around the world, learning how to survive on my own, learning new things and getting stronger to show them that I don't need them for me to get stronger. I continued to wander around the world until I decided to join Fairy Tail, and joining Fairy Tail. Naruto looks at them with gave them a true smile. As the best thing happened to me. Lizana smiled in hearing those words, while Mira just had small smile on her face and promised herself that she would at least be nicer to Naruto after hearing story and finding that he wasn't making it up. We are arriving at Real Town in 10 minutes everyone, so please stay on your seat and make sure that you have your belongings. An announcer said, and Naruto looked at the two said, well, we better get ready now, you two. Naruto said before turning back his attention to outside the window of the train. Time skip. Well, thank you for accepting my request, mages of Fairy Tail, especially you, Hakuto. The mayor of Real Town said. He never thought that he would meet the famous white mage of Fairy Tail. Naruto just waved it off and said, don't mention it, I just came here since my friend here asks me to. Naruto said, and he patted Lizana's head, making the girl pouted at him while Mira just rolled her eyes. So what's the problem, Mayor? Mira asked, and Mayor composed himself and started to explain the request. Well, the mission request is that you capture a huge group of bandits, and these bandits had been stealing some of our stuff, but the worst of all is that they kidnapped some of our citizens, the mayor said with sad look on his face, and the three mages' eyes widened in hearing this. Making them slaves, and one of them is my daughter. The mayor finished, and Lizana was sad in hearing this, while Naruto and Mira were pissed at hearing this promise that would bring great pain to the bandits. Don't worry, Mr. Mayor, we promise that we will bring back everyone back. Lizana said with a determined look on her face. The mayor bowed down and thanked them and given the possible locations where the bandits are. The three left the house of the mayor and looking at the map where several marks made by the mayor. This going to take all day for this look for the bandits. Mira whined, and Naruto just smirked beneath his mask. Well, not exactly for you two, yes, but for me maybe 15 minutes or less. Naruto said, and Lizana looked at him confused while Mira glares at him for being cocky. Oh really, and what's your idea, Mr. S-Class Genius? Mira said sarcastically, and Naruto did a hand sign. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto shouted, and 10 Narutos appeared before them. Mira and Lizana eyes widened in shock in seeing this. What the hell, I never seen him do this before. Mira screamed in her mind while Lizana was completely shocked. Everyone spread out, and once you find the bandits' hideout, puff out in existence, got it? Naruto said. Hi. The clones shouted and spread out to look for the bandits' hideout. Naruto looked back at Mira and Lizana, and he saw the confused look on their face. What? Naruto asked, and Mira was quickly snapped out of her shock and pointed at Naruto. What the hell, I never saw you make clones before. Mira shouted at him while Lizana finally snapped out from her shock. Those are shadow clones, and I mostly use them for infiltrating missions or other things. Once the clones are gone, all their memories will return to me. It's really useful when you are learning different kinds of magic or gaining different kinds of information. Naruto said, making the girl's eyes widen further. Does anybody in the guild know that you can create those clones? Lizana asked. Well, the only ones that know my skills are Master Makarov, since I told him about it, while Natsu, Gray and Urza know it since they joined me in my training. Naruto explained, and Lizana nodded at him while Mira was still suspicious about him. Time skip. How long has it been? Mira whined as she, Lizana and Naruto were sitting on the ground, but Naruto was in mediating position. 10 minutes, Mira nay, Lizana said, and was clearly bored. Mira looks at Naruto was still mediating and walks towards him and leans towards Naruto's face, closing their distance. Suddenly Naruto's eyes opened and Miragen jumped back in surprise. One of my clones found the hideout and it's not very far from here, Naruto said, and the trio headed towards the bandits' hideout. Time skip. So is this the place? Mira asked. The three were a few meters away from the bandits' hideout and Naruto couldn't help but sweat drop at where the bandits' location is. Either the bandits wants get everyone attention or they are just plain stupid. Naruto thought as he saw the bandits' hideout, which was abandoned warehouse, and also said, hideout, sign in the entrance of warehouse. Those bandits are stupid, are they? Lizana asked with deadpan look on her face, and Naruto and Mira nodded in agreement. Well, what's the plan? Lizana asked, and Mira and Naruto just look at each other, and Mira had small grin on her face while Naruto just smirked beneath his mask. Lizana saw the glint in their eyes and know what they were thinking. You two aren't thinking about charging head on, are you? Lizana asked, and Mira and Naruto nodded at her, causing her to let out a sigh. So much for sneaking in, Lizana thought. Inside the hideout in the boss room. So what are we going to today, boss? One of the henchmen asked. How about we sell the slaves some good cash and or we can. Boom. What the hell was that? The boss of the group asked, then started to hear explosion and screamings coming from other side of the door. They run towards the door and knock down the door only to be hit a yellow beam, causing them flying to the walls and causing the bandits moaned in pain. Well, looks like we found the leader of the bandits, a voice said, and they look up and saw Mira and Naruto walking in the room. Why is there kids in here? The bandit leader said as he and his henchmen stands up. We are here for the mission to capture you all and return all the things that you stole from town, Naruto said, and the bandits glares at them and pulls out their weapons. Naruto just raised a brow at them while Mira had a smirk on her face. Like hell we'll let you touch our boss, one of the henchmen said, and all of them charges at Mira and Naruto. Naruto grabbed the handle of the katana in his back, unsheathed it, and charges at the bandits, and in flash of light Naruto was behind the henchman and slowly sheathing his katana back. Click. The henchman falls to the ground and were knocked out cold. Naruto turns to leader of the bandits, leader who was shaking in fear in what he just witnessed. Naruto walked towards the leader and the leader back away from him. Stay away. The leader stuttered and Naruto just ignores him and continues walk towards him. Out of desperation the leader swings his sword wildly and Naruto effortlessly dodges the attack and counters him with a roundhouse kick, sending the leader crashing to the wall and was out cold. Naruto sighs and looks at Mira who was glaring at him. What? Naruto asked. You said that I would be the one going to beat the shit out of them, Mira shouted, and Naruto just scratched the back of his head. Oops. Naruto chuckled and Mira gained a tick mark on her head and was about to march up to him and beat him up when suddenly Lizana enters the room. The slaves are all free now and are outside of the warehouse now, and I found the things that bandits stole, Lizana said, and Naruto nodded at her. Good work, Lizana, now let's round up bandits and return the things and citizen back to town, Naruto said. You're still going to get a beating after this, Mira said, and Naruto just chuckled at her. If you can catch me, Mira-chan, Naruto said, and Mira finally snapped. Naruto, Mira shouted, then she started to chase Naruto around the room. Lizana couldn't help sweat drop at this. Time skip. Well, that mission was pretty easy, Naruto said as he, Mira and Lizana were heading back to the guild. The mission was done and the mayor and everyone in the city were really grateful to them. Many of the women in that village decided to create Naruto fan club, which was annoyance to the blonde, and the reward money was given to Lizana and Miragen since Naruto didn't want any of the money since he didn't want the money anyway. Yeah, and I never knew that you two had a great teamwork, Lizana said. Naruto just chuckled and Mira just rolled her eyes. They were about to reach the city of Magnolia when suddenly Naruto stops in his track, causing everyone to stop also. What's wrong, Naruto? Lizana asked as she saw Naruto was looking at the forest nearby Magnolia. Lizana called Naruto again, but Naruto ignored her call and Mira decided to shout at him. Oi, blondie, Mira shouted, and Naruto snapped out from his shock and looked at Mira. What? The blonde asked. You were spacing out, Mira said, and Naruto just scratched his head. Sorry about that. Anyway, you guys go ahead, I have to do something first, see ya. With that, Naruto went to the forest, leaving a surprised Mira and Lizana. Did he just ditch us? Mira growled as she started release a dark aura from her body. Calm down Mirane. Naruto said that he had something to do. Let's just head back to the guild. Beside we have to report to Master about the mission. Lizana said. Mira aura slowly disappeared and let out a sigh before the two head back to the guild to report to Makarov about the mission. With Naruto. Naruto was deep within in the force and was looking around. I swear I saw something glowing in the forest and I felt great power from it. Naruto said as he continues to search that mysterious light that he saw. After several minutes of walking around the forest he was about to give up when suddenly he saw the light again. He immediately follows it and leaps towards it. Gotcha! Naruto shouted as he successfully captured the mysterious light. He closes his hands tightly to prevent it from escaping. "Ah, let me go," a voice from the light said. Naruto was confused when he heard the voice and that voice was definitely a female. He decided to let go of the light and opened his hands. When he opened his hands it revealed a small girl. The girl has dark purple hair and pupils which are colored dark blue on the top half and a mix of pink and pale yellow on the bottom half. She wore a dress with a black, cream, and pink color scheme and a set of purple and cream-plated armor which adorned her shoulders and waist. The dress is open at the back and made up into a black corset which exposes some of her cleavage and a two-layered, knee-length skirt which has a pink to white gradient. Her hair is tied back using a butterfly-shaped hair accessory. She also wears a pair of gauntlets which have petal-like cuffs, both sharing the same color scheme as her attire, as well as a pair of armored boots. She also has a pair of purple wings in her back. The girl flies away from Naruto and glares at him. "Hey, what was that for?" the girl asked and Naruto just scratched the back of his head. "Well, sorry about that. I was curious when I saw a small light in the forest and felt a great power from it," Naruto explained, and suddenly the girl was starting to glow very bright that made Naruto look away. When the light was gone Naruto turned back his attention to the girl only to meet a giant broad sword pointed towards him. He looks who was holding and was surprised that it was the small girl change into same size as him. "You better not be lying to me," the girl said glaring at him as she pointed her sword at Naruto and the blonde raised his hands defensively. "And no, I'm not. I was only curious, that's all. I never intend to attack you," Naruto said and was hoping that the girl will believe him. The girl looks at him for several seconds before she saw that Naruto was not lying to him and lowered her sword making the blonde sigh in relief. "Anyway, I'm Naruto Hakuto. I'm a mage of Fairy Tail and also known as the White Mage of Fairy Tail," Naruto introduced himself and the girl just tilts her head. "Mage, what's that?" the girl asked with confused look on her face and Naruto eyes widen in hearing this. "You're kidding, you don't know what's a mage is?" Naruto asked with shock look on his face and the girl just shook her head and Naruto decided to look at her memories with his mind-reading magic. He looks at her memories and saw nothing but blurry memories. He knew now that this girl doesn't know anything, but he decided to ask her some question. Do you know who you are?" Naruto asked. "No, I don't know who I am and I don't know where I came from," the girl said, and Naruto noticed the sad look on her face and he couldn't help but feel sorry for the girl. He decided to help the girl since she had nowhere to go. "Why don't you come with me?" Naruto said as he extends his hand at her. The girl looks at him with surprised look on her face. "Why?" the girl asked, and Naruto removed his mask and bandana to reveal his face to the girl and grinned at her. "Because you don't have anywhere to go. Right then, come with me to Fairy Tail. In Fairy Tail you will make new friends and create bonds. You won't be lonely anymore and we will protect you from any harm. In Fairy Tail we will create precious memories and everyone will treat as a family. So what do you say?" Naruto asked, and the girl eyes widened in hearing those words and couldn't help but smiled back at him. "Yes, yes, yes," the girl screamed for joy as she leaps towards Naruto and hugged him tightly. Naruto winced in pain a little. He never knew that the girl was very strong but nevertheless hugged her back. This continues for several seconds until Naruto broke the hug and put on a thinking pose. "Now all we need is to give you a name since you don't know. Remember yours," Naruto said, and a few seconds passed. A name came up to him. "I got it. How about Toka?" Naruto said with a smile, and the girl looks at him confused. "To-ka," the girl said, and Naruto nodded at her. "Yeah, the name is perfect for you," Naruto said with a wide grin, and the girl liked the name and accepted it. "Well, Toka, let's head to guild for everyone to meet you." Naruto said, and Toka nodded at him and changes back to her smaller version of herself and land the top of Naruto head. Naruto runs towards back to the guild for everyone to meet his new friend. And on that day Toka became the newest member of the guild and they threw a huge party for the newest addition of their family. 1 year later x 780. A year has passed since Naruto found Toka and she became a new member of Fairy Tail. Toka also became Naruto's partner. Those two were rarely seen separated from the day Naruto found her. Naruto taught her all the basic knowledge such as language, reading, math and many other things. Toka also started to call Naruto Ni-san, in seeing him as a brother, which much to amusement of the blonde. Toka had taken great liking in Fairy Tail. She made friends with everyone in the guild with her happy-and-go-lucky attitude except for Laxus and his group, since she was a partner with Naruto that made Laxus and his group act cold towards her, but she didn't mind since she has many friends. Naruto also started to train her and he was surprised on how good she was in wielding a sword, and he had to admit she was better than him in a sword fight, especially once she released her true power. Her power is a par on a wizard saint. Naruto decided to teach her about controlling her power so she couldn't destroy much in her surrounding, and it taken Toka several months for her to finally have full control of her power, which made Naruto very proud. Toka also earned her own nickname. She was called the Princess Warrior of Fairy Tail, because of her princess-like appearance and great skill as a fighter. She and Naruto had done several S-class missions and finishing them with ease, making Fairy Tail and their reputation bigger. Also during that year Mira had been a bit nicer to Naruto since she heard about Naruto's story, but still challenges Naruto in a fight and still being a bit mean to him, but Naruto didn't mind and he was happy that his relationship with Mira had changed even a little. Naruto decided to change his appearance. Now he no longer wears a mask or bandana that hide his face, giving him a full view of his handsome face. He now wears a white coat that has a Fairy Tail symbol on the back, white shirt underneath it, black pants, white gloves and pair of boots. Also during that year Naruto finally met Gildarts Clive, who was known as the ace of Fairy Tail. Naruto liked the S-class wizard. He wasn't arrogant like Laxus and he was more laid-back type of person, and he likes to drink a lot since Naruto saw that Gildarts always drinks with Makarov. But during Gildarts' visit Naruto saw that Kana had sad look on her face, which made Naruto worried, so he decided to look into Kana memories and he was shocked to discover that Kana was Gildarts' daughter, and Naruto decided to talk to Kana. Flashback. Naruto was the back of the guild with Kana. Naruto asked Kana to talk to him, which was no problem for the card mage user. Toka wanted to join them but Naruto said that they needed to be alone. Toka whined about it until Naruto was able to convince her, making the little girl leave them alone for a while. So what do you want to talk about, Naruto-kun? Kana asked with confused look on her face. Kana-chan, will you answer me truthfully? Naruto asked and Kana looks at him confused but nodded at him. Naruto let out a sigh. Kana, is Gildarts your father? Naruto asked and Kana eyes widen in shock. I don't. What are you talking about? Kana denied. I noticed that every time that you would see Gildarts you had that sad look on your face. It's like there's something that you wanted to say to him but you're too scared to do it. Naruto explained. Then he looks at Kana again and saw that her hair has shadowed her eyes. I guess you found out my secret, huh, Naruto? Kana said, and Naruto just let out a sigh and place a hand on her shoulder. Kana looks at Naruto and saw that he had concerned look on his face. Do you want to talk about it? Naruto asked. Kana was quiet for several seconds and finally nods her head as a sign of yes to Naruto's question. She started to tell on how her mother named Cornelia died when she was little, and her mother told her about Gildarts and when she joined the guild and trained to become an S-class wizard for her to reveal herself to Gildarts. After Kana finished her story, all Naruto could say that he was surprised at this and feel sorry for Kana for everything she'd been through. He doesn't blame Gildarts for any of these since he knew that the man had nothing to know about Kana, and Naruto knew that Gildarts was the type of guy that would take care of Kana if ever learned that he was the father. Naruto decided to help Kana after hearing her story. Kana, can you take me to your mother's grave? Naruto asked and Kana looked at him surprised. What for? She asked. Just trust me, okay? Naruto said, and Kana looked skeptical at first but she knew that she could trust Naruto, so there was no problem. She and Naruto started walking away and headed to the Cornelia grave. Time skip. Cornelia grave. We're here. Kana said as they arrived to Cornelia grave. Naruto saw a gravestone that has Kana mother name on it. Naruto looks Kana just gave her a small smile. Kana, do you want to speak to your mother again? Naruto asked and Kana looks at him with wide eyes. Why you can do that? Kana stuttered. She did not believe in Naruto words. It was impossible to speak to someone who was dead. Naruto just in front of her and clap his hand together as he releases his magical powers. Hear me spirits, the path of light shine upon me. Naruto chanted as a magic circle appeared in the grave and in front of him. Hear my cry and please for me to speak to you for guidance and truth. Naruto eyes opened and he slams his hand in the magic circle that was in front of him. White magic. Soul summon. Naruto shouted and a pillar of light came from the sky and hits the magic circle that was on the grave. When the pillar of light and the magic circle was gone, Kana's eyes widened in shock as tears were flowing down her cheeks. It was Cornelia. Her mother was standing in front of her. She was like an adult version of Kana and she was wearing a beautiful white dress. KK Ka-chan is TT that RR really you? Kana stuttered and she slowly approaches her mother. Cornelia just gave her daughter a smile and nodded at her. Yes, it's me Kana-chan. Cornelia said with a soft tone and Kana couldn't hold it anymore. She runs towards her mother and leaped towards her. Cornelia catches her daughter and the two hugged each other tightly as Kana was crying on her shoulder but not in sadness but in joy. Cornelia letting tears of joy in seeing her daughter again while Naruto couldn't help but smile at this. When the two separated the hug, Naruto approaches them. Cornelia looks Naruto and asked, "Are you the one who summoned me?" "Yes, I'm Naruto Hakuto. I'm a friend of Kana and also known as the White Mage of Fairy Tail." "It's nice to meet you, ma'am," Naruto said politely and Cornelia just smiled at Naruto. "Such a nice boy. Tell me, are you Kana-chan boyfriend?" Cornelia asked. Kana blushed in embarrassment while Naruto just let out a nervous chuckle. "Ka-chan," Kana shouted with embarrassed look on her face. "What?" Cornelia asked as she tilts her head in confusion. "Well, I'm a boy and her friend, so I guess I am," Naruto said and the two girls' sweat dropped at his answer. "Well, there's something I need to tell you both," Naruto said and both women look at him. "The magic will wear off at least 3 hours, so Kana, you have at least 3 hours to talk your mother before she returns back to the spirit world," Naruto explained and both women nodded at him. "Well, better get going now. See back in the guild, Kana-chan," Naruto said before walking away to leave the two for them to talk. Flashback ended. After that event, Kana thanked Naruto and the blonde just said to him that he just helping a friend out and nothing more. But ever since that happened, Kana would talk to Naruto more often and sometimes join in his mission with Toka. Naruto noticed that Kana would sometimes flirt with him, which made him confused at first and started to ask Makarov about women since he never been educated about these kinds of things before and he knew that Makarov was wise about this since he was a master after all. Even Makarov is a pervert, he still act more of a parent than pervert towards the guild. If he acted more like pervert than a parent, then Laxus would have been turned into a pervert since he was close to his grandfather when he was a kid after asking for help to Makarov. The old man couldn't help but burst out laughing at Naruto but nevertheless taught him about women, not just the perverted way. After Makarov told him about women, Naruto could help but slowly realize that Kana might have feelings for him, but the blonde decided to ignore this since he knew that he didn't want to be in a relationship yet since Makarov told him being in a relationship with women is complicated. So he decided to act to be a dense idiot like Natsu when a girl flirts with him. Now Naruto was on the first floor of the guild and was searching for jobs since he was completely bored while Toka was talking with Levi and her teammates. After few minutes of scanning request board, Naruto saw that caught his interest. A class request from the King of Fury. My daughter Hisui has been more quiet and antisocial for the last few months and I'm very worried. Please, I'm asking anyone who could cheer my dogger up. Reward 1 million jewels. Well, this looks interesting, Naruto said as he snatched the paper. That's when Mira approaches Naruto. Hey Naruto, what the mission are you going? Mira asked. Naruto just showed her the paper and Mira stared at it for several seconds before bursting out laughing, which caught everyone's attention and Naruto was confused. What's so funny, Mira-chan? Naruto asked and Mira wiped the tear from her eye after laughing. You can't be serious about that mission. I heard that many have tried to that mission and all of them failed. They said that the princess is as cold as ice. Mira said, and Naruto just shrugged at her. You can never know, Mira-chan. I might be the first one be able to do, after all I'm also very unpredictable. Naruto stated, and everyone in guild agreed to him since they knew that Naruto was very unpredictable, has the talent to make everyone happy except arrogant people. Mira just rolled her eyes. Didn't say I warned you. Mira said, and Naruto went to Makarov for him to approve the mission, and Makarov approved it. Come on Toka-chan, let's go. Naruto said as he headed to the guild followed by Toka. Time skip. Naruto and Toka finally arrived at the capital of Fury Crocus. And this might be the largest town of Fury, which with a vast amount of buildings in a circular formation as far as the eye can see, with the right part of the town being placed on the edge of a small crag. Such part seems to be surrounded by walls topping the crag itself. And there, in the middle of the town was Mercurius, the castle where the royal family of Fury lives. Wow, this castle is pretty big, Toka said happily with excited look on her face. This was her first time visiting the castle of Fury. Naruto just chuckled at the excited look on Toka's face. It's been a year since Naruto last visited the castle. Hey Ni-san, what does the princess look like? Toka asked, and Naruto thinks about, and then he realized something. Now that you mentioned it, I never once saw the princess. Naruto said, and he was surprised that he just realized that, but somehow something tells him that this going to be one heck of a mission. Naruto and Toka arrived at the front gate of the castle, and one of the knights immediately recognized Naruto. Naruto-san, why are you here? The knight asked. The knight has deep-set eyes and high cheekbones, with a small scar running from his left temple to the edge of his thick eyebrows. He also has a snub, square-shaped nose. His hair is dark and wavy, sticking up around his head, with prominent sideburns that join into a curved and pointed beard. He was wearing a silver armor and a cape. This man's name is Arcadios. Ah, Arcadios-san, it's been a while. I'm here to accept a mission, Naruto said as he handed the paper to Arcadios. Arcadios reads the mission and his eyes widen in shock. Well, I'm very surprised that you accepted this kind of mission, and Naruto-san, who is that with you? Arcadios asked as he saw Toka, who was standing on Naruto's shoulder. Hi there, I'm Toka. It's nice to meet you, Toka said happily, and Arcadios was surprised at this and looks at Naruto for explanation. She's my partner and adopted little sister, and you may know her as the Princess Warrior of Fairy Tail. Don't let her size deceive you or you're gonna regret it, Naruto said, and Arcadios was even more surprised at this. He heard story about the Princess Warrior of Fairy Tail and how powerful she was, but he never thought that a small little girl would be able to do that, but he decided not to judge the book by his cover and believe in Naruto's words. Soon Naruto and Toka entered the castle and headed to the king chambers and was being accompanied by Arcadios. So Arcadios-san, can you tell me about the king's daughter? Naruto asked. Well, Hisui-sama is a very happy and kind person, but after her mother passed away she became very quiet and very cold towards other people. She won't leave her room unless it was completely necessary. So the king decided to make the request that could bring a smile back to her daughter's face. So far no one ever succeeded. I'm surprised that you taken this mission, Naruto-san, since they only came to this castle twice since the king requested your aid. Arcadios said. Well, don't worry, I'll bring back a smile to Hisui's face after. I'm also very unpredictable, Naruto stated. Arcadios couldn't help but agreed to his statement since he knew that Naruto was completely unpredictable. He would be able to do the impossible missions that the king requested, and he saw firsthand on how Naruto was able to change the situation in his favor. Soon they arrived at the king chambers. Arcadius pushed the door open and stepped inside of the throne room and knees down before the king. Naruto quickly followed him and do the same to the most powerful man in Fury. He had met the king before since the king personally asked for his aid to do some mission in bringing down dark guilds that are near the capital and escorted him in leaving the kingdom to visit the other kingdoms. Your Majesty, I had brought the mage here. So, you are the mage who accept the mission, the king said cheerfully. Please stand up, young one. Naruto stood up and looked at the king, and the king's eyes widened in surprise. Naruto-san, you're the one who accepted the request? The king asked with a surprised tone, and Naruto nodded at him. Yes, and I brought a friend with me, Naruto said, and the king looks at him confused until he saw Toka was coming towards him. It's nice to meet you, King-sama. I'm Toka, Toka said respectfully and bowed her head a little. Naruto taught her about manners and about respecting other people. Oh my, this is very surprising anyway. I'm Toma-e. Fury little one, Toma said cheerfully, and Toka nodded at him before returning back to Naruto. So Toma-sama, where is your daughter anyway? Naruto asked, and Toma let out sad sigh. She is in her room. She doesn't want to come out unless I call her if it was necessary. I hired several mages to try to make her happy, but all of them failed. Toma let out another depressed sigh, and Naruto and Toka couldn't help but feel sorry for the man. Don't worry Toma-sama, I'm going whatever it takes to make her happy. After all, I never failed a mission before. Naruto stated with a grin on his face. Toma couldn't help but chuckle at the blonde words, but he knew that if anyone can do the impossible, it was Naruto. Very well Naruto-san, I hope that you can bring a smile back to my daughter. Toma stated, and Naruto nodded at him. Soon Arcadios led him and Toka towards the Hisui room. Moments later they were now standing in front of the door of Hisui chamber. Arcadios knocks on the door and said, Hisui-sama, there's someone here to see you. If they are the mages that father hired, tell them to leave. They are just wasting their time. Hisui said through the door. Naruto was the only one who notices that her voice sounded like she was really broken. Arcadios let out a sigh and looked at Naruto and Toka. I'm sorry for her cold attitude, Naruto-san, Toka-san. It's all right Arcadios-san, but can you leave us now? Naruto asked, and Arcadios raised a brow at him, but nevertheless he complied and left, leaving Naruto and Toka standing in front of the door. Toka flies in front of Naruto and asked, So what are we going to do, Ni-san? Toka asked, and Naruto smiled at her. We're going to sneak in. Naruto said, and Toka had a confused look on her face. How are you going to do that? Ni-san? Toka asked, and Naruto snapped his fingers that when a magic circle suddenly appeared beneath him. The magic circle glowed, and soon Toka saw that Naruto's soul was leaving his body. When the spell was done, Naruto's body suddenly falls to the ground, but Toka immediately catches it as she changes in her battle form. It's when Toka changed her size as same as Naruto. Toka lays Naruto's body near the wall and looked up and saw Naruto's spirit. Ni-san, what happened? Toka asked in awe, and Naruto smiled at her. I used one of spells that allows me to temporarily remove my soul from my body. So take care of my body for a while, Toka-chan, while I sneak inside. Naruto said, and Toka nodded at him. Naruto enters the room through the door, and soon he was inside Hisui room. Naruto looks around the room and could help but a bit surprised, since the room was filled with toys. There was a bookshelves that was full of books, a giant bed in the center, and few paintings that was hanging on the wall. He looks at the painting. The painting was consisted of Toma, Hisui, and a woman who has light, wavy, green hair that reaches down to her shoulders with two strands that frame her face and reach down to her shoulders, green eyes, and she was wearing a beautiful white dress. Naruto presumed that the woman was Hisui's mother and couldn't help but see the Hisui was a carbon copy her mother. Naruto saw that she had big smile on her face on the painting and couldn't help but feel sorry, since he knew now that girl was really heartbroken when her mother died. Naruto finally turned to the desk and saw Hisui there. He noticed that Hisui has her head on the table but notices there was tears flowing down her cheeks. Naruto takes a closer look and saw that she was holding a picture of her mother. Why did you leave, Ka-chan? Why? Hisui mumbled, and Naruto couldn't help but frown at this. He knows that the girl loved her mother dearly. I'm so sorry, Hisui-chan, I'm sorry that I left you. Naruto heard a voice, and Naruto turns around, saw Hisui's mother standing in front of her with sad look on her face. Excuse me, Naruto said, and Hisui's mother turns to Naruto and was surprised to see him. Oh my, who are you, young one? Hisui's mother asked, and Naruto smiled at her and bowed his head. I'm Naruto Hakuto, you must be Hisui-sama Ka-san, Naruto said, and Hisui's mother nodded at him. Yes, I'm Lily E. Fury, the late wife of Toma, Lily said, and Naruto nodded at her before turning his attention to Hisui, who seemed to have fallen asleep. She really missed you, Lily-sama, Naruto stated, and Lily nodded at him with sad look on her face. Yes, and I couldn't help but blame myself for this. I let my poor daughter become like this, Lily said sadly. Lily-sama, how did you die? Naruto asked, and Lily turns his attention to Naruto. I died from an unknown illness. Toma-kun tried everything he could to keep me alive, but in the end I died. Lily stated, and Naruto looks to Hisui before returning back to Lily, who was watching her daughter with sad look on her face. After watching this for several seconds, Naruto finally let out a sigh and looks at Lily. "Lily-sama," Naruto called, and Lily turned her attention to the white mage. "Do you wish to be given a second chance in life?" he asked, and Lily looks at him confused. "What do you mean, Naruto-san?" Lily asked. "I can bring you back to life," Naruto stated, and Lily felt like the world stopped. She couldn't believe in what she was hearing. What was that, Naruto-san?" Lily stuttered. "I said that I can bring you back to life, Lily-sama. I can give you a second chance in life. I can give you a chance to be with your family again." "So what is your answer, Lily-sama?" Naruto asked. That's when Lily suddenly was on her knees and brought her hands together in front of Naruto. "Please, Naruto-san, let me have the chance to be with my family again. Please bring me back to life," Lily stated with depressed look on her face, and Naruto saw that she was type of person that would do anything for to given another chance to be with her family again. "Of course, Lily-sama, I will give another chance in life again, since I see that you would go through the length to be with your family again," Naruto stated, and Lily's eyes widened in hearing this, and soon started tears of joy were flowing down her cheeks before she stands up and gave Naruto a hug. "Thank you, Naruto-san, thank you," Lily said, and Naruto just let out a sigh and let her continue hugging him. Moments later she lets go of him and Naruto left the room. With Toka. "I'm bored," Toka whined. 10 minutes has passed since Naruto changed in his spiritual form and sneak in Hisui's room. Toka was bored and couldn't explore the castle since Naruto told her to watch his body and she will not start disobeying her adopted brother now. Toka snapped out from her thoughts when she felt Naruto moved. She moves away from Naruto's body and saw Naruto's eyes opened. "Ni-san, who did it go?" Toka asked as she saw Naruto stands up and do some stretching. "It went well, but now she's asleep anyway, let's head to the king chambers," Naruto said. "Why, Ni-san?" Naruto asked and just smiled at her. "You'll see, Toka-chan," Naruto said, and Toka pouted at him. She really hates him when he doesn't tell her what he was going to do. Time skip. Naruto and Toka were now in the king chambers along with Toma, Arcadios and some knights. They were waiting for Hisui, and moments later Hisui arrived at the chambers. She was surprising in Naruto. "I'm here, Otu-san, and who is this?" Hisui asked as she pointed at Naruto. "I'm Naruto Hakuto, or who is known as the White Mage of Fairy Tail, Hisui-sama, while this is Toka, my partner and adopted little sister," Naruto said as he pointed at himself and Toka. Hisui nodded at him and looked at his father. "So we are all here, Naruto-san. Why did you gather everyone here?" Toma asked, and Naruto just smiled at the king. "I have something that will bring back the smile in your daughter's face, but first I need the guards to leave the chamber first," Naruto stated, causing everyone look at him surprised. "But why, we are the king's bodyguards," one of the knights said. But the king raised his hand, making the knight stopped his protest. "Guards, please leave the chamber. I believe Naruto-san will not do anything bad to us," Toma said. He has great trust towards Naruto, even he only met him twice, but he knew that he can trust Naruto. The knights were about to protest again when Arcadios stopped them and told them to leave. Soon Toka, Naruto, Toma and Hisui were the only ones left in the room. "So what are you going to do, Naruto-san?" Toma asked. That's when Naruto summoned 3 clones that surprised Hisui, then place a tag around the room. "There now no one can get in the chamber or hear us," Naruto stated, and everyone was completely confused at his actions. "Why did you do that, Ni-san?" Toka asked. "Because I don't want some of the knights to witness in what I'm going to do," Naruto said, and Toka was confused at first when it suddenly hits her, making her eyes widen in shock. "Ni-san, are you going to use your white magic?" Toka asked, and Naruto nodded at her while the Toma and Hisui were confused at this. "What is so special about his magic?" Hisui asked. "Patience, Hisui-sama, but first can we talk? Why were you acting so cold to the others?" Naruto said, and Hisui just looks away from him. "It's none of your business," Hisui said harshly. Naruto and Toma just let out a sigh. "Is because you were depressed? Is it because of your mother?" Naruto asked, and that did it. He saw Hisui flinch and glares at him. "You don't know anything, so stay out of it," Hisui snapped at him. Toma and Toka were surprised at Hisui's sudden outburst, while Naruto just had a blank look on his face. Toma was wondering why she was acting like that, then it hit him. Hisui-chan, you are still over it, are you? Toma said softly, and soon Hisui started to have tears in her eyes. I can't get over it, to-san, I missed her so much. Soon Hisui started to cry and Toma moved out from his seat and started comforting his daughter. Naruto and Toka couldn't help but feel real sorry for the girl. Now Naruto knew that he made a good decision. The reason that asked the guards to leave is because I have some information about your mother, Hisui-sama. Naruto explained, and both Toma and Hisui look at him with shock. What do you mean, Naruto-san? What do you know about my wife? Toma asked. I met your mother, Hisui-sama, not physically but spiritually. She been watching over you ever since she died. Naruto stated, and this caused both the king and his daughter to look at with surprised look on their face. Soon Hisui lowered her head and mumbles some words, but Naruto could hear them thanks to enhanced senses as a dragon slayer. Ka-chan, are really watching over me? Naruto heard those words and finally decided to end this sad moment. Soon Naruto's body started to glow white and extends his hand in front of him. Toma, Toka and Hisui were watching from the sideline as they saw Naruto was performing a spell. I, the wielder of white magic, the one who controls life itself, he chanted, and a big magic circle appeared in front of him. I command the spirit of Lily E. Fury. Toma and Hisui eyes widen in hearing that name. Return to world of the living once again. White magic. Soul revival. Then the magic circle glow and soon Toka, Hisui and Toma eyes widen in shock in what they were witnessing. They saw Lily body started materializing in the circle. When it was done, the magic circle was gone and Naruto body stopped glowing. Soon Lily body was laid down on the floor with her eyes closed. Toma and Hisui started to have tear in their eyes, and as they run towards to Lily body. Lily-chan, Toma called, and soon Lily slowly opened her eyes and she saw her husband and daughter gathered around her. Toma-kun, Hisui-chan, Lily said, and this caused more tears flowing down to their face. Ka-chan, Hisui shouted as she started to hug her mother tightly and Lily to hug back on her daughter, and soon Toma joined the hug. Naruto and Toka, who was now beside him, smiled at the scene. He was happy that he was able to reunite a family and knew that Hisui now will be happy again. Soon the family breaks the hug and turned their attention to Naruto. How could I ever thank you, Naruto-san? Toma said as he and rest of his family approaches Naruto. I only did what I think was right. Hisui was very depressed when her mother passed away, changing her into a cold person. You have nothing thank me for, Toma-sama, Naruto stated, and Toma and his smiled at him. But the problem now is that we need a story on how Lily-sama suddenly came back to life. Naruto stated. Can't we just say that you brought her back to life? Hisui asked, and Naruto shook his head. I don't want to get any attention from the council, they already keep pestering me to meet them, but thanks to Toma-sama immunity that I got, I can ignore them, but if they find out that I can bring back the dead, they will try anything to manipulate my powers for their own personal needs. Naruto stated. Don't worry, Naruto-san, I can make some good story on how came back to life. Lily said, and the king chuckled at his wife's words. Yes, Lily-chan is very good in making stories, so you won't have any problems, Naruto-san. Toma stated, and Naruto just nodded at him. Well, I'm glad. Now I'm gonna pass out now. Naruto said, and that's when his body collapsed to the ground and the seal barriers deactivated. The last thing he heard was everyone calling his name before the darkness has taken over. Time skip. Naruto groaned and his eyes started to open and saw that looking above the ceiling. Where am I? Naruto asked as he sat up and looks around and saw that he was in Hisui room. Ni-san, Toka, in her small form, shouted as she came out from nowhere and hugged Naruto cheeks. Hey Toka-chan, how long was I out? Naruto asked, and Toka let go of him. 2 days, Ni-san, and everyone in the royal family were really worried about you. Toka said, and Naruto just nodded at her, and the door suddenly opened and they saw Hisui entered the room. Hello Hisui-sama, Naruto said, and he noticed that Hisui has surprised look on her face, and before he could make any more comments, that when Hisui suddenly leaps towards Naruto and hugged him tightly, and Naruto blushed by the sudden contact. Hisui-sama, Naruto stuttered. My, you're awake now, Naruto-san, Lily said as she and Toma entered the room. Toma-sama, Lily-sama, Naruto said in surprise, and then he felt Hisui tighten her, hugged around him. She's been really worried about you, Naruto-san. Hisui-chan here didn't sleep well because she was really worried about you. Toma said, and Naruto was surprised at hearing, and then he looks at Hisui and saw her that she was crying. Naruto couldn't help but feel sorry for making her worried and decided to the girl and giving her some comforting words. The king and queen of Fury couldn't help but smiled at the scene with Toka. They are happy that the princess was now happy once more, and it was all thanks to Naruto who brought back happiness in the family. Time skip. Naruto and Toka, who was in his shoulder, were now standing outside the castle gate with Toma and the rest of his family in front of him. Lily already explained to Naruto the cover story on how she came back from the dead. Lily told the kingdom after she was announcement of her return that her spirit was slowly being sealed away by unknown curse, which was the result of the unknown illness that caused her death, and she told everyone on how he, Naruto, was able to free her spirit from the curse with the use of his magic, which causes everyone in the capital to proclaim him the hero of Cronus, which embarrassed the blonde. Here's your reward, Naruto-san. Arcadio said with a grin on his face as he handed the bag of reward to Naruto. Naruto opened the bag and his eyes widened in shock. Toma-sama, I think this is too much. Naruto said, and Toma shook his head. Nonsense, Naruto-san, you have brought back smile on my daughter face and break the curse for my wife to return to us. To tell you the truth, we are eternally grateful to you. If you ever need help, just come to us. Toma smiled. Yes, Naruto-san. Toma-kun here is correct, we are forever grateful for bringing happiness back to our family. Lily said as she smiled at him. Naruto just nodded at her and accepted both the king and queen reasons. Okay, Toma-sama. Lily-sama, I will accept this reward, but can you keep my magic a secret to the council, because I don't want the council keep pestering me to join them. Naruto stated. Our lips is sealed, Naruto-san, we won't tell anyone about it. Toma said, and Naruto just gave him a thankful nod, then turns to Hisui and she steps forward. Naruto, Hisui said, are ever going to see each other again? Naruto just smiled, then reached something from his pocket, then pulls it out and reveals to be a small bracelet that has the symbol of fairy tale. Here, Hisui-sama. Naruto gave her the bracelet and accepted it. Always remember that even we are far away from each other, we will always meet each other again one day. You can visit Fairy Tail to see me if you want. Naruto stated and ended with a wide grin on his face. Toka, Toma and Lily just smiled at Naruto's words. Hisui just looked at the bracelet for a few seconds before smiling and put it on. Just promise me that we will see you again, Naruto. Naruto just smiled and nodded at her. I promise. Naruto stated, then suddenly Hisui leans forward and kissed him on the cheek, which shocked everyone, especially Naruto. After 5 seconds, the princess pulled back with a smile on her face, her cheeks reddened a little. Thank you bringing back Ka-chan. Naruto. Naruto snapped out from his shock and nodded at her before he started to float in the air, which made Hisui look at him with awe. Until meet again, Hisui-sama, Lily-sama, Toma-sama. With that, Naruto was covered with yellow cloak and flies away with lightning fast speed, which made everyone look in amazement on how fast Naruto was. Lily was the first one to snap out from her shock and moves forward and place a hand on her daughter's shoulder. Hisui turns around to face her mother. Let's head back, Hisui-chan. Lily smiled and Hisui nodded at her with bright smile on her face before heading back to the castle. I think our little girl has crush on Naruto-san, dear. Lily stated, and Toma just chuckles at hearing that. Well, I don't mind having the boy being with my daughter. In fact, if he ever become Hisui fiancé, I'm sure that the kingdom will be more happy having him as a king. Toma stated, and Lily just let out a giggle. I'm sure that this will be the last time we will see Naruto-san. Arcadio stated, and both king and queen nodded agreement, and they knew that this will be the last time that they will see Naruto again. Time skip. We're back. Naruto and Toka shouted as they entered the guild, and suddenly Naruto was surrounded by the guild members and Toka was able to fly away to safety, leaving Naruto behind. Naruto, you're back. Natsu as he hugged his brother figure tightly. It's good to be back, Natsu. Naruto ruffled Natsu and head, and soon Kana approaches him. Naruto, look at this. Kana gave the newspaper to Naruto and he began to read, and his eyes widened in shock. It was him, the front page of the new paper, about being the hero of Cronus for being back the queen from the unknown curse, and their many comments are about him and all of them are positive. I can't believe this, I just freed the queen from a curse, this happens. Naruto said, and depressed look on his face. What's wrong, Naruto-kun? You don't seem very happy about it. Urza said with confused look on her face. Of course not. It means that my fan base will increase more and I won't have any private time anymore because of all those fangirls stalking me. God damn it. Naruto whined with anime tears in his eyes before he slammed his head to the table repeatedly, which made everyone's sweat dropped at his comment except for Toka, who already ordered some sweet foods that she loved so much. How much money did you get anyway? Gray suddenly asked as Naruto stopped banging his head and looked at Gray and was about to answer when suddenly Toka answered for him. 10 million jewels, Toka said happily as before she continues back eating her sweet food, and everyone look at Naruto with jaw dropped in shock. The 1st to the 1st of January, 10 million. Everyone shouted and Naruto nodded at them. Yeah, but I gave 70% to Toka, so she has 7 million jewels while I have 3 million jewels. Naruto explained and everyone was shocked at hearing this. Then suddenly Natsu shouted at Naruto. Next time I'm coming with Naruto ni. That's when suddenly Gray punched him, sending Natsu crashing to table. No, I'm going with Naruto ni next time. Gray shouted and Natsu strike back, sending Gray crashing to the other members of the guild, and soon all started to have an all-out brawl again, but also they celebrated for the return of their favorite blonde and his partner. Next day, morning everyone, Naruto shouted as he and Toka entered the guild and everyone in the guild greeted him back. Oi Naruto, Makarov called, and Naruto approaches him and saw that Makarov was with Guildarts. Hey master, Guildarts. Naruto greeted them and Guildarts stand up from his seat and approaches Naruto. Naruto, I challenge you to a fight, Guildarts said, and everyone in the guild was surprised at hearing this, even Makarov. This was the first time that Guildarts ever challenged anyone, since no one ever had the power to beat him except for Makarov. Naruto had confused look on his face. Why do you want me to fight you, Guildarts? Naruto asked, and Guildarts just smirked at him. Since I'm going to 10 years mission, I wanted my last day on Fairy Tail is to see if you have what it takes to be the next ace of Fairy Tail, Guildarts stated, and everyone in the guild was surprised at hearing this. They knew that Naruto would be the next ace of Fairy Tail because it was a known fact that Naruto done every single S-class mission with ease and easily beaten Laxus, who was also an S-class mage, to pulp. Naruto was satisfied with Guildarts' reason and grinned at him and pointed at him. You're on, Guildarts, and I want you to all go out, Naruto said. Oi, don't fight, you two, you might destroy the city of Magnolia, Makarov complained. He knew that if these two fight they would destroy half the city of Magnolia, if not maybe more. Don't worry master, I can place a powerful barrier to where we are going to fight and nothing will happen outside the barrier even if we all go out, Naruto explained. He made a special seal that act as a barrier whenever he goes all out in his training to increase his power. Makarov just let out a sigh. He knew that Naruto was stubborn like Natsu when comes to fighting strong people, and he won't take no for an answer. Fine. Meet me at the forest near the guild in 2 hours, Guildarts said before leaving the guild, and Naruto had determined look on his face. I will be the next ace of Fairy Tail and I won't back down on my words because I'm Naruto Hakuto, Naruto mentally shouted. Time skip. Everyone was now at the forest near the guild, but they were outside the barrier so that they would get away from harm in whatever happens inside the barrier. Naruto and Guildarts were few meters away, and Naruto had serious look on his face while Guildarts has his arm crossed and has smirk on his face. Good luck Naruto-kun, Urza cheered. Go Ni-san, Toka cheered as she currently standing on top of Urza's head. Hey, Naruto will get his butt beaten, Laxus said arrogantly, with his team nodding in agreement. He still holds a grudge towards Naruto after humiliating him in front of the entire guild, but hold a great fear if he ever pissed him off. Say that guy who got beaten to pulp and never had a chance to fight back, Mira muttered, but Laxus heard her and glares at Mira. What was that brat? Laxus asked angrily. You heard me, Sparky, Mira shouted back. That's enough, both of you, the match is about to begin, Makarov shouted, and the two send one last glare at each other before returning back their attention to Naruto and Guildarts. You ready, kid? Guildarts asked, and Naruto nodded at him and went to his stance. Both of you ready? Makarov asked, and both mages nodded at him before returning back their attention at each other. Begin, Makarov shouted. Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto created 6 clones of himself, and the 5 clones along with Naruto charges towards Guildarts while the other one sit on the ground and put on a meditating position, which confused rest of guild members except for Natsu since he knew what Naruto was doing. "What is Naruto clone doing?" Mira asked. "He's gathering magical energy from the field around him," Natsu stated, and this caught everyone's attention. "Why would he do that?" Lizana asked. "Because Ni-san is going to enter in his Dragon Force state," Natsu stated, and Makarov was surprised in hearing this. He heard about Dragon Force state from Naruto, and he finally that Naruto was really serious in beating Guildarts, but never seen Naruto ever used it, not even once. "What's that?" Kana asked. "The Dragon Force is the final, most powerful state a Dragon Slayer can attain, granting them power comparable to that which a real dragon possesses. His power will be equal to an actual dragon," Makarov explained, and everyone's eyes widened in hearing this except for Natsu since he already knew about this after Naruto explained it to him during their training. "No way can he do that," Mira said in shock. "Let's watch and see," Makarov said before everyone returns back to the fight. Ice Dragon Roar, Fire Dragon Roar, Water Dragon Roar, Sky Dragon Roar, Lighting Dragon Roar, Earth Dragon Roar. Naruto and his clones attacked combined into one giant beam towards Guildarts. Before the attack could reach the ace of Fairy Tail, the beam slowly started to disappear, and Guildarts extends his hand, stopped the beam, and it was completely gone. Naruto and his clones' eyes widen in shock in what they just witnessed. "Crash magic is my main magic, Naruto," Guildarts said. "This is a type of caster magic. This is the magic that smashes everything the user comes into contact with into pieces. It can even be used to both crack magic into pieces, nullifying its effects, as well as to reduce the magic's power and to deflect it. Even the most powerful spells are rendered useless. What are you going to do now?" "Huh." Naruto and his clones let out a war cry and charges at Guildarts as they started to throw barrage of strikes at Guildarts, but the ace of Fairy Tail was in this situation before where he was outnumbered. He easily dodges all the attacks that was sent to him and counter it with his own, and one by one all the clones were disappearing until the original Naruto was left standing in front of Guildarts. Naruto gritted his teeth. He knew that Guildarts was only toying with him. He glares at Guildarts and shouted, "Stop toying with me and get serious. I'm not Sparky over there. Who couldn't land a hit. Get serious, old man." Naruto never liked to be underestimated because it reminded him about his parents back in Konoha and how they see him as a weak person, and Naruto vowed that he would not be a weak person again. Everyone in the guild was surprised at seeing this, while Laxus was pissed off hearing the Sparky part. "What was that, Hakuto? You calling me weak?" Laxus roared as sparks started to appear in his body. "Calm down, Laxus," Makarov ordered, and Laxus just scoffed and glares at Naruto. He would be sure to watch everything on how Naruto will lose to Guildarts in humiliating way. Guildarts raised a brow at him. He didn't that he was provoking Naruto that much, but the blondes think that he was underestimating him. So to make him see that he wasn't underestimating him, he would fight Naruto with his full power. "Alright kid, but don't blame me if anything happens to you," Guildarts said, and he started to release a powerful amount of his power, making everything in the field shake. Naruto then felt suffocating by the powerful amount of magical power that Guildarts was releasing that made him fall down to his knees. What the hell, is this Guildarts' true power? Is this the true power of an S-class mage? Naruto mentally asked as he felt like he should give up, but then he remembers his resolve that made him put on determined look on his face. Hell no, I'm not going to give up. I'm gonna show Guildarts that I will be the next ace of Fairy Tail. I'm not going to give up, Guildarts. I'm gonna show you that I have what it takes to become the ace of Fairy Tail. Naruto shouted. Then soon Naruto started to release his own magical powers, and Guildarts' eyes widened in surprise in seeing this. This kid magical power is more powerful than mine. Who the hell is this kid? Guildarts asked himself as both magical powers were unleashed, and soon the field inside the barrier started to get destroyed by their magical powers alone. Everyone outside the barrier could feel the two mages' magical powers and causing all of them drop to their knees except for Makarov, who was able to sustain it. What the hell, I thought that this barrier will prevent any power that will come out from them. Laxus said as he struggled to stand up. I think because of the intense power that both are releasing that the barrier can't keep up with it. Makarov explained, making everyone look at him with wide eyes before returning back to Naruto and Gildarts. I'm surprised that you have so much magical powers than me, Naruto, but doesn't mean that you are an ace of fairy tale yet. Gildarts said, and Naruto just looked at him with a determined look on his face. I will become the next ace of fairy tale, and that is a promise of a lifetime. Naruto stated, making Gildarts looking at him surprised look on his face before smiling at him. Let's see what you got, kid. Gildarts went to his stance and Naruto let out a war cry and charges at Gildarts with his fist ready, and Gildarts did the same, and both attack clashes, sending a powerful shockwave around them that made several cracks underneath them, and soon both of them started to release a barrage of attack at each other. Everyone in Fairy Tail were watching the fight with wide eyes as they saw Gildarts and Naruto attacking each other, and every time each attack connect, a powerful shock was formed around them. I can't believe in what I'm seeing, Urza said in awe. Naruto is par with Gildarts. Mira said, equally shocked as she saw Naruto started to use his heavenly magic and started to throwing several beams at Gildarts, who used his crash magic to make them disappear. Go Ni-san, kick his ass, Toka cheered as she watched in awe. This was the first time he ever saw his brother going all out. These two are monsters, Laxus shouted. He never knew that Naruto was this strong, and it made him fear Naruto more if ever pissed the blonde off. Everyone stayed quiet as they continued to watch the fight in awe. Now everyone knew that Naruto was strong as Gildarts and knows that he will become the next ace of Fairy Tail. An hour has passed. Gildarts and Naruto was now standing a few meters away from each other, and they were panting. Gildarts has few bruises in his body, but Naruto has more than him, and he looks even more tired than Gildarts. Since Gildarts has experience in hand-to-hand combat than Naruto, so the current ace of Fairy Tail has more stronger than him in hand-to-hand combat. I have to admit, Naruto, I never thought that I would see anyone so young to able to par with me in strength and power, but you don't have the enough stamina to continue this fight, so give now. Gildarts said. He really enjoyed this battle, and he knew that without a doubt that Naruto would be the next ace of Fairy Tail. Naruto smirked at him and said, I'm not done yet, Gildarts. I'm now going all out. This is the first time I'm going to use this on a fight. Naruto said as he closes his eyes, and which made Gildarts and everyone watching the fight with confusion. What does Naruto mean? He can barely stand up now. Gray said. Hey, look at the clone. Toka shouted, and everyone outside the barrier looked at Naruto clones, who was still meditating. The clone opened its eyes and they saw his eyes change slit in the middle. That's when it suddenly disappeared. What happened to the clone? Kana asked. Look at Naruto, Levi said, and everyone turned their attention. The blonde and Naruto eyes opened and they were slit now. Get ready for this, Gildarts, because I'm going all out now. Naruto shouted, then let out a war cry, and he was covered with rainbow-colored fire, and slowly they all had a shocked look on their face as they saw Naruto body started to change. Naruto body has scale-like patterns on his body, and they saw that Naruto body was covered with rainbow-colored aura, swirling around him. Everyone could feel that Naruto magical powers were off the roof, that it made Gildarts look like nothing for comparison. Is Naruto really this strong? Gray asked in shock as he could feel Naruto magical power that he was releasing. Naruto Ni is in his Dragon Force state, Natsu said in awe. He never thought that this was the kind of power that Naruto has, and he vowed that he too will become strong as Naruto. Is he even human anymore? His power is beyond the power of the strongest wizard saint, and no human ever hold that kind of power. Gildarts thought in shock. He never knew that Naruto was this strong. He knew that Naruto was strong as him, but he never suspected this. Naruto looked at Gildarts with smirk on his face and said, Better get ready, Gildarts, I'm not holding back now. Naruto said, and he suddenly disappeared from everyone's sight, making everyone's eyes widen in shock, and suddenly reappeared in above Gildarts. Gildarts looks up and saw that Naruto was above. He shocked how fast Naruto was and saw that Naruto has giant rainbow-colored orb above him. This is the end. Dragon Slayers' secret art. Cosmic style form. Dragon God Bomb. Naruto roared as he throws the giant ball of rainbow-colored orb towards Gildarts. Gildarts couldn't do anything because on how fast the giant orb was approaching, so he couldn't use his magic to stop it. Boom. A powerful explosion happened that sent everyone who was watching a few feet away from their place, and everyone in Magnolia saw that giant explosion that made the citizen knew that Fairy Tail caused it. When the explosion died and the smoke cleared up, they saw Naruto was standing and looking down on the unconscious guildarts on the ground. Makarov snapped out from his shock and shouted, "Winner! Naruto Hakuto!" And that day Naruto was marked as the newest ace of Fairy Tail and the guild celebrated for his win. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next part.